The red fire dragon was released smoothly. After being free, the red fire dragon completely lost the attitude of refusing just now. It roared and roared with excitement. Roar. Strong body, suddenly broke the air and up. Directly broke through the forbidden area of the Cloud family. Cloud House, after a loud noise, a position on the ground shaking mountains. Yunqi's face turned black when he heard the roar of the red fire dragon. This sound, how to listen, it seems to have come out. Is it Yunqi's face is even worse? He shouts in a low voice, go to find the three elders and come here together. Yunqi looks at the burning half of the sky. He has a bad feeling in his heart. He always feels that it has something to do with Yunwu. Sharp eyes across a trace of helplessness, a slight sigh, this girl in the nonsense. As soon as the red fire dragon appeared, the whole Zhou dynasty changed. Because it has been reported that a demon dragon has been detained in Yunfu. Now this movement, this change. The whole imperial city was in a panic, and the news spread almost instantly. The demon dragon is coming out. The demon dragon is coming out again. Everyone will suffer. Word of mouth, all of a sudden made the whole imperial city panic. Although Red Fire Dragon does not agree to guard Cloud House, it is a great gift for him to get freedom again. What's more, since the contract agreement has been signed, how can we not follow the contract? It's agreed that I will only protect you for 3 years. After 3 years, I will leave. You are not allowed to make any contracts for me at that time. The Red Fire Dragon cast a suspicious glance at the clouds in mid-air, and the fear and distrust of the summoner still did not disappear. Deal. Cloud Dance open mouth readily agreed, Mao light inside but flit over a fine on and cunning point. After 3 years, we'll talk about it later. The Red Fire Dragon trampled on the evil and readily agreed. He had no bottom in his heart. He muttered something and left the forbidden area. In its heart, the most distrust is the summoner. If it wasn't the summoner of Yunfu at the beginning, why did it come to the present situation? Inside the palace. Sire, the Red Fire Dragon has been released. The guards who have been guarding the Red Fire Dragon in the Cloud House rush back to the palace to report. Zhou Badian looked at the abnormal changes of the sky. His fierce eyes flashed a touch of darkness, and then waved to the bodyguard to leave. Is it true that, as the national master said, the Zhou dynasty will? Zhou Badian looked at the flaming red clouds over the Cloud House, slightly asteringed his eyes, and his anger could no longer be concealed. In Yunfu. The 3 elders and Yunqi gather together and look at the Red Fire Dragon over Yunfu. Their eyes are surprised. This. One of the elders pointed to the Red Fire Dragon and was surprised. Not a word is complete. What are you looking at? Be careful, I'm in a bad mood. I'll burn you to death. Red Fire Dragon looked at the 4 old men and roared with terror. After that, he didn't look at them anymore and fell asleep. A black line suddenly appeared on everyone's faces just at this time. Yunwu came back, took a look at the 3 elders and Yunqi, and frowned slightly. Cloud Chi looks at Cloud Dance, Fierce Mouse Sun glances at the Red Fire Dragon of Sky, frown away. 9 wenches, is that you put it out? Yes, grandfather, Cloud Dance nodded, the bottom of the eyes swept a helpless. It's estimated that the Cloud family can't understand the Red Dragon released this time. The Red Fire Dragon is cruel in nature. We follow our ancestors' instructions and guard it from generation to generation. How can you let it out of the world? Yunqi looks at Yunwu in bewilderment. His granddaughter is not the kind of person who doesn't know right or wrong. Cloud Dance's lips raised a smile, glanced at the plate in the air, sleeping Red Fire Dragon. Sen Yu said, Grandfather, do you think it will harm the world? At the moment, the Red Fire Dragon seems to have no ferocious fury at all. But extremely docile, like a simple child in general, there is a trace of lovely. For the Red Fire Dragon, Cloud Dance psychology is quite satisfied. What is it doing here? Yunqi looks at the Red Fire Dragon and frowns, but he seems to have guessed something in his heart. Grandfather, Yunfu has always been loyal to the Zhou dynasty, and finally came to this end. Do you feel cold? Cloud Dance slightly picks eyebrows and glances at Cloud Chi. Then he said, today your granddaughter was forced to choose a position and I refused. Do you think Yunfu will be peaceful? Yunwu talks endlessly. She is gambling. Yunqi will be shaken when she hears these words. Yunqi's eyes are dark. Anger rubbed up, voice big up, Cloud House generation loyalty, this son of a bitch, the head is not squeezed by the door. Between the words, there are sadness, helplessness and heartache. It's more than being squeezed by the door. If you can't take it for your own use, you have to kill it all. It's really the emperor's heartlessness. Cloud Dance, mouth a yang, eyes inside the cold light wipe off. She believes that Yunqi will think it over. If he can guess the purpose of her saying these words, it would be better. He will make a choice. I hope that choice won't disappoint her. If not, Yunqi hears her words and never says anything, but droops his eyes and meditates on her words. The other three elders also looked at each other and saw that Yunfu had been assassinated after its power was cut. Now Miss Nine is still forced to choose her position. It seems that there is something wrong with it. Everyone knows that Miss Nine is Long Shizi's fiancée. Now that Long Shizi returns to Long Shugua, Miss Nine naturally follows him. Is it a naked threat to let her choose her position? Grandfather, I believe you must understand my words. Red Fire Dragon will protect Yunfu for 3 years, and I want to go back to Longshu country. What Yunfu will do next and what I will do next are all decided by grandfather. Yunwu looks at Yunqi with a sad attitude, and her eyes pass by a touch of worry. Yunfu's loyalty to the Zhou dynasty was not completely convinced by her 3 or 2 words. I believe that Zhou Batian won't let Yunfu spend these 3 years so safely. Let Zhou Batian die out the loyalty of Yunfu little by little. As the saying goes, you can live if heaven does evil, but you can't live if you do evil yourself. Wind-dazzled heart, that night's bloody smell, it seems still clear to smell. Yunqi looks at Yunwu's back. Her eyes squint and she smiles thoughtfully. This 9 wenches, even he this old man also calculate. After solving the matter of Yunfu, Yunwu plans to go to Longziguo. There is Red Fire Dragon in, now the Zhou dynasty has no threat to the Cloud House, even if Zhou Batian wants to take the Cloud House to threaten her, it is impossible. If he wants to take Xueliu as an excuse, he can only come to Longziguo to kill her. However, as long as he dares to come, she will let none of them go back. On the other hand, the fight between Zhou Feiyu and Zhou Tianyu will also give him a headache. He intends to let Zhou Tianyu ascend the throne. Is Zhou Feiyu a fuel-efficient lamp? The fierce fighting in the nest just gave the dragon time to pour out evil. Just after Cloud Dance put all the things it needed into the space, it just walked out of the room, but met Zhou Feiyu. Cloud Dance looks at Zhou Feiyu, Lu Mei is low, what does he come to Cloud House for? Are you going to leave? Zhou Feiyu put his hands behind him. His eyes were calm, and he could not see his mood. His arrogant figure stood in front of Yunwu, with a touch of domineering dignity that could not be ignored. Cloud Dance's tiny jaw head, lift Mao to ask away, what's up? It's okay. I just came to discuss something with General Yunda. I'll see you by the way. Zhou Feiyu gives an awe-inspiring smile and specially aggravates the discussion with General Yun. There was a light in Yunwu's eyes. How could she forget her father? Although for Yunlingyi, up to now, I can't say what feelings it is. However, contact but also understand that the stubborn Cloud Cold E, a tendon of a loyal person. She can be sure that her grandfather will be in her camp, but she's not sure about her father. Cloud Dance glanced at Zhou Feiyu and sneered, let's have a good discussion. I hope you can succeed. Then he passed him and turned away. Zhou Feiyu turned around, looking at her back, calm eyes, a trace of anger burning. When he has solved those obstacles, Long Shugua is the first goal of his trial. The cloud dances slightly to hang the eye sun, the eye bottom undercurrent emerges. She can guess what they are talking about. If her father agrees, one day, this week, Fei Yu will become a powerful opponent of Long Shugua. Then she'll regret not killing him that day. Days go by. The night is charming and quiet. Under the starry night, Long Qingxie stands by the lakeside of Tsuebo Lake, looking at the shimmering surface of the lake, remembering the cool figure in his heart, with a smile in his mouth. Little thing, are you coming? Suddenly, his eyes were dazed, and the smile at the corner of his mouth froze for a second. He dropped his eyes slightly, and a strange light appeared at the bottom of his eyes, which was better than the stars at this time. Under the willow trees by the lake, a small figure passes by and hides. A pair of star eyes secretly coagulate the man in white by the lake, and his eyes are stained with a smile. In the moment of her drooping eyes, the white figure suddenly disappeared. What about people? Cloud Dance Micro frown, look around, but did not find anything unusual, cannot help but some doubts. Little thing, peeping is my husband. I should come later. Suddenly, a low voice of evil spirit rang out in her ear. Cloud Dance a tremble, frightened suddenly goose bumps up a body, suddenly look back white he one eye. He can suddenly appear beside her in silence she didn't even notice is her vigilance decreased, or is his strength increased too much. It seems that if he killed the man in the upper world that day, his strength really improved. Alas! In the quiet night, the dragon suddenly sighed deeply. When Yunwu wanted to ask why he sighed, he would come down and let Yunwu want to beat him. If you're a little late, maybe my husband has already bathed and changed here. Cloud Dance. The sound of a dull blow reverberates steadily in the night, your strength is above me. Cloud Dance glanced at Dragon Qing Evil One Eye, the corner of the mouth low, some dissatisfaction. With a low smile, Long Qingxie encircles her in his arms and says, only in this way can you let a man do what a man should do. He will always be the little man behind you. He will be embarrassed for his husband. Oh. Cloud Dance smell speech, rare feigned wretch lift Mao a face to despise of looking at him, your skin is so thick, embarrassed also can't show. In fact, she knew that even if she didn't get the power of the man in the upper world, his uncanny strength was not under her. His evil body is like an endless abyss. It's totally out of touch. No one knows how high his real strength is. Long Qingxie dotes on her tightly in his arms, and the smile at the corner of his mouth makes her pale under the stars and the moon. His current strength is indeed one period higher than this little thing. However, in this changeable world of power, what is fixed? It's just like the evil bite in her body. If she is completely subordinated to her, and her power is completely used by her, no one in the whole mainland of China can match her. Under the quiet willow trees, two figures stand embracing each other. They are as elegant as immortal aluminum. Except for the sound of breathing, it seems that all the sounds that break the tranquility have stopped. After a long time. Did he do something? The cloud dances from the dragon to pour out the head in the evil bosom, the Mao light tiny dark way. Dragon Qing evil slightly nods, the smile of the corner of the mouth is cold a minute, have already extended the claw tooth into an kingdom. Cloud Dance micro frown, she can feel the breath of his chest dignified a bit. Can you catch a turtle in a jar? Cloud Dance eyebrow tip a pick, Mao Guang flits past a touch of pure light. The dragon tilts evil to hang Mao to smile, knocked on her head. My wife knows my heart very well. What about this side? What did he do? Cloud Dance mouth with a smile, thought spread, Ink Night Ice can't let Long Qingxie safely stay here, will certainly find a way to let him leave. Or it's more likely to kill him. In today's court, most people jointly wrote to their father, saying that I have been hiding my strength, and now I suddenly return to Longzuguo, there must be some purpose. Long Qingxie's eyes were dark and his mouth was full of sarcastic smile. Cloud Dance tiny narrow eyes, let go of the dragon to pour evil, suddenly cold all around. He has an impure purpose. Are these important officials kicked by donkeys? Even if he was sent to the Zhou dynasty as a child, he is the blood of the state of Long Su, the three princes of the state of Long Su. This can't be changed. Even if he wants to be the king of Long Shugua, it can be justified. What is the purpose? After so many years, it seems that Mo Yebing has brainwashed them and deeply rooted. Would you rather believe in a national teacher than the son of the Lord? Can I help you? The cloud dances, the eye light passes a touch of worry. It's not easy to solve the problem that the powerful officials oppose. Dragon Qing evil mouth pulled out a smile, looking at the clouds, beautiful eyes. This little thing can guess everything. It seems that she already knows that her father was controlled by the national master. Have you ever heard of Jin Zhonghua? Dragon Qing evil looking at cloud dance, fierce not ding of emerge such a sentence. At this time, the golden light of the dragon in my mind flashed, and a piece of information suddenly flashed. Golden Bell Puzzle is a puzzle lost thousands of years ago. Users will be able to control a person's thoughts, words and actions. And the person who is confused by the golden bell is like a puppet, which can be manipulated by others. The most insidious place is that the user gives an order. If he doesn't say stop, the skilled person will generate the user's thoughts. But there will also be great side effects. Even if Jin's Honghuo is relieved in the future, the middle bewitcher is likely to live in the world of mental retardation all his life. Is it true that he was deceived by the golden bell? Cloud dance coagulates dragon to poor evil, eyes are surprised. He, of course, refers to the Lord of Longxiu. That is to say, if Mo Yebing wants Long Qingxie to leave, he just needs to give an order to Long Yaozi, and Long Yaozi will have a thought and drive him away with logical thinking? Or even order him killed. Of course, killing or not is another matter. However, with only one command, Mo Yebing can set the location of Dragon's evil spirit in a dangerous place without interfering in this matter. This person is not a person, ghost is not a ghost thing. It's not a damn thing. Cloud dance eyes cold on emerge, faint burning a trace of Yin cold flame. Long Qingxie looks at Yun Wu's resentful eyes and raises a smile at the corner of his mouth. But don't worry, just find a way to get rid of the golden bell puzzle. Cloud dance eyebrow tip tiny pick, you found a way. Long Qingxie nodded slightly, his eyes were dark, but there was no joy in his face because he found a way. No matter how hard it is, it can. Yunwu grabs his hand and smiles. Although, she didn't quite understand what feelings existed between Long Qingxie and Long Yaozi. However, since it was his father, there was at least a connection in his blood. Just like her and the Cloud family, Jin Zhonghua was lost thousands of years ago, but now there is a way to get rid of him. It must be very difficult to get a way to get rid of him. Moreover, Mo Yebing is moody and may take action one day. The time left for them to find a solution is not fixed. Maybe one day, maybe 2 days, maybe tomorrow he will do something. But she has a hunch that Mo Yebing won't get the dragon out so soon. Long Qingxie's strength has improved. He should be aware of it. His way of cultivation seems to have some bottom in his heart in the last fight with Cloud Dance. It is estimated that he always wanted to get the power inside them. The reason why he let Long Qingxie come back this time is that, in addition to the pressure of the people at that time, he still wanted to catch turtles in a jar, breaking the back road of Long Qingxie. If there's nothing to do tomorrow, I'll take you to a place tomorrow and let's elope. Long Qingxie put away the dark eyes, and the evil spirit danced to the clouds with a smile. Elopement? Cloud Dance micro frown, no, this guy's serious time not more than a few seconds. But she still nodded, knowing that she was going to find a place to dispel the golden bell puzzle. Some words didn't need to be said too clearly. They knew each other deep at night, cool, lake and restore the original quiet. The next day. Early in the morning, Long Qingxie with Cloud Dance high-profile transfer in the palace. The two of them are very dazzling together. No matter where they go, the bodyguards, Gong and Gong who pass by can't help looking at them. An evil spirit, a cold and gorgeous, are the two most extreme people. Cloud Dance looks at the palace maids passing by and looks back at them step by step. She frowns slightly and can't help glancing at the dragon. As for such a high profile, what she doesn't like most is to be seen as an exhibit without paying. It seems that she has no value. When Long Qingxie heard her words, her sword eyebrows were slightly raised and her waist was encircled. Of course. However, this move was just seen by the oncoming Mo Yibing. Ink Night Icy Cloud Dance, calm and cool eyes obviously a sync. Cloud Dance Whitey One Eye, looking back also touched Mo Yibing's and cold eyes tiny eye. The three men looked at each other as if they had agreed. But did not say a word, pass by. Disappeared in the Cloud Dance line of sight in the Ink Night Ice cold eyes dark calm, a touch of killing idea lead to emerge. His plan was disturbed by this woman again. Originally, I wanted to take advantage of their separation and clean up one by one. But didn't think, send out of that Wuzun medium dark Xian, unexpectedly died in that wench hand, kill her plan to fail. I wanted to introduce the dragon's evil design today, and I absorbed the power in his body by the way, but I didn't expect the girl to come so soon. The strength of the two of them has been improved by more than one chip. If they join hands, he will not dare to do it easily. Ink Night Ice cold eyes a touch of red appear, that first let them live a few days. Yunwu felt the cold smell behind him, more dignified, and drew a cold smile from the corner of his mouth. It seems that he has realized something. I don't think it's all right today. Let's elope for my husband and wife. The sound of dragon's evil spirit interrupts her meditation. Without waiting for her to recover, she feels empty. All around the breath will be sharp up. Waiting for her next second to come back to mind, her body has been in the air, the scene around is fuzzy and hazy, and she can't see anything clearly. Close your eyes and we'll be there. The sound of dragon's evil spirit was lingering in my ears. However, before Yunwu closed her eyes, Long Qingxie reached out to cover her eyes. What's so mysterious? Yunwu felt as if he was passing something quickly, but his eyes were covered, but he couldn't see anything. Until half a ring later. The man's hand was released. When the darkness in front of you is bright again, Cloud Dance looks at the scene in front of you, and your eyes pass by with a touch of surprise and doubt. This is Cloud Dance micro frown of search memory, suddenly pick eyebrow. Ancient town. Isn't that the ancient town where Gao Gao brought her? A small town at the junction of the three kingdoms. Just, how did this man take her so quickly from the palace of Longshu Kingdom to the junction of the three kingdoms? It's weird. However, Cloud Dance chose not to ask this question. Here is the man who can dispel perplexity. Cloud Dance raises eyes to coagulate dragon to pour evil one eye way. Dragon Qing evil slightly jaw head, the mood in the eye light changes rapidly. Yunwu glances at the people in Shanggu town and frowns slightly. Just like the last time, people here still look at them with a strange look, just like seeing some rare animal. Let's go. Long Qingxie didn't look at those people's eyes. He took Cloud Dance's hand and walked in the crowd with a smile in his eyes. Last time, when we were together, Yunwu had no time to observe these people. This time, I found that she was here and could not feel any spiritual power. Weird, so weird. Long Qingxie brings Yunwu directly to a shop. There are many things in the shop, such as weapons, medicinal materials and martial arts books. As long as they are needed by a warrior, everything is complete. Yunwu patrols around the shop. When he sees the plaque on the shop, his face turns black. Bai Shaoxing, an ancient town, is familiar with everything in ancient times. He says 100 liang. 100 liang. What a wicked businessman. Girl, is there anything to ask? Suddenly, an extremely simple and honest voice with a smile rang behind the Cloud Dance. Yunwu takes back her eyes on 100 liang sentence and looks back at the person behind her. He was dressed in an ordinary gray robe. He was in his early 30s. He was half shorter than her. He was fat and short. But the things in his shop are all needed by martial arts practitioners, and they should be valuable. Besides, the news of 100 liang should not be such a poor picture. Ask him. Yunwu slightly raised his chin and glanced at the dragon. Hearing the words of Cloud Dance, the man picked up the small book in his hand and drew a circle. Looking at the circle, he grinned happily. His eyes narrowed into a crack, and then he went to the dragon. There are 3 black lines on Yunwu's forehead. I always feel bad, the message. The same dialogue. Long Qingxie nodded and said with a deep smile, Jinzhong puzzle is a kind of puzzle. Where do people who can solve puzzles live here? Thank you. I saw the boss heard Long Qingxie's words, and his face turned black instantly. He didn't have the joy of talking with Yunwu at all. Go straight out of the door, turn left at the intersection, and go straight to the end. The boss drew a circle on the small book and gave him a white look. Cloud Dance micro frown of looking at Long Qing evil, one breath say so many words, not tired. When she was puzzled, the boss raised his smiling face and ran to her. Any more news? That's it. The Cloud dances the Mao light to emerge to doubt, see to Long Qing evil. Long Qingxie nodded, smiling, mysterious and meaningful. No more. Yunwu glances at the boss who is looking up and waiting for her answer. His face turns black. There is always a feeling of being fooled. Boss smell speech facial expression is a joy again, drew 2 circles on small book again, handed over Cloud Dance. 500 taels, thank you. Yunwu looked at the book in his hand, and the blue veins on his forehead appeared. 100 liang. Yunwu finally understood from the beginning, she fell into the pit dug by the unscrupulous businessman. A few hundred liang. Cloud Dance when Liang asked, eyebrow tip a pick, the corner of the mouth died with a light smile. But there was a smell of threat in the voice, as if he dared to say 500 liang, and she stripped his skin. 500 liang. The boss straightened his back, raised his head and said word by word. See Cloud Dance the anger in the eye rubs to burn up. Here are 500 taels, thank you. As soon as Long Qingxie's voice fell, the boss felt a strong wind passing by, and the 2 figures disappeared in the shop. The boss didn't look surprised. Looking at the silver note in his hand, he installed it happily. However, at this time, you'd better pray that I don't run into you again. A low roar, across the air, far away floated over. Dragon Qing evil will Cloud Dance to the outside, mouth evil smile does not reduce, little thing, you are really lovely. Cloud Dance now facial expression stinks of terrible, lift Mao to stare him one eye. Cute. To be more direct is to be silly. Next time we meet this unscrupulous businessman, we must let him return 500 liang. If we don't give him back, we will deal with him. Although she has a lot of money, gold, silver and jewelry in her space, it doesn't mean that she is a big wrongdoer. Her eyes are sulky, the violence factor is out of control, a cold face, now full of 2 words. Money, play, how do you know that someone here will dispel the golden bell puzzle? I remember Gao Gao said that it's a special place, extremely difficult to be found, and ordinary people can't get in. But how did he find out? I know what's going on here. Dragon Qing Xie Hang Mao mysterious smile, is not the beginning of worship for husband? Yes. It was clear that he was not talking. This man is always so mysterious and seems to know everything. However, her admiration for his knowledge of this place. At that time, it seemed that it had something to do with the upper boundary. It sounded very mysterious. Dragon Qing evil swept one eye crowd, Mao light tiny low, circle Cloud Dance waist. In a twinkling of an eye, I came to the place that the shop owner said. They stand outside the fence. In the center of the distance is a stone house. The shape of the stone house is like a modern pyramid. It is extremely exquisite and domineering. The only drawback is that the stone walls are covered with moss, which has an ancient and gloomy feeling. Cloud Dance felt an unusual breath, reached out and touched the inside of the fence, slightly frowned and said, "Boarder? Who's out there?" Suddenly, a voice that seemed to have been baptized by hell came out. It was a very gloomy 3-dimensional voice. Listen to that person's voice, should be a weather-beaten old man. Long Qingxie put his eyes on the stone house and said, "Come and find the solution to the golden bell puzzle." The golden bell? When the old man heard the 3 words, his voice was obviously a little surprised, but it soon faded. "The golden bell puzzle has disappeared for thousands of years, I can't help it. A shop owner knows you can solve the golden bell puzzle, but why do you say you can't?" The cloud dances the Mao light to pass by a doubt. That shop owner hears the golden bell to be puzzled, the first time thinks of him, explain he can certainly solve, but why does he say to be incompetent? Is there any secret behind this? Little girl, as you two are, it's better to know less about these things. As soon as the old man's voice fell, the cloud dance and the dragon's evil spirits were all in a daze. Who are they? Can the old man know their identities without looking at them? Yunwu ponders and frowns slightly. Isn't the old man a diviner? What if I had to know? Yunwu looks at the stone house and raises her eyebrows slightly. Inside the stone house, a long silence. I can't help what I said. It's not that I can't solve it, but that I can't get out. The sound came from behind the stone house. The cloud dances the dragon to poor evil mutually to look at, the Mao bottom flits past a touch of surprise. The voice did come from the stone house, but why did the last sentence come from the back of the stone house? You, where on earth is it? Cloud dance's eyes are cool. They are only 10 meters away from the stone house. They can still hear each other. But if the old man is behind the stone house, his strength is really unfathomable. The rockery behind the stone house is hundreds of meters away from them. The view is fuzzy, not to mention the sound. I'm naturally under the rockery, and in the stone house, I'm the spirit beast who takes care of me. The old man's voice came back from behind the stone house. Spirit beast? Cloud dance eyes alow, has the spirit beast of the elixir. Yunwu's face suddenly changed, and an undercurrent crossed his eyes. Are you imprisoned here? What is the strength of the prisoner? The old man's silent voice answered Yunwu's words and said, for a while, that's why I can't do anything. You'd better go back. Cloud Dance raised a bloodthirsty smile at the corner of his mouth and said to the stone house, if you solve it, can you come out? Girl, don't mess around. The old man heard what he said and said hastily, this warcraft is no better than the warcraft on the mainland of China. Don't take risks. What did you try to know, old man? If you come out, are you sure you can get rid of the golden bell puzzle? Although Cloud Dance this words is to ask of that old man, eyes but heavy looking at stone house, sharp eyes inside bloodthirsty chili spread. I can understand it, but you can't. Bang. The old man's words were all silent in the shaking sound of the stone house. In an instant, 2 figures broke the border, a loud noise, the stone house was cracked, they used a strong gun, came to the stone house. You alas. The old man felt that they had broken through the border and sighed helplessly. It was too late to say anything. Oh. As the stone house trembled, a howl came out, with enough anger to burn around. Suddenly, the stone house began to shake violently, as if the spirit beast inside was going to break out of the house. The stone house, which had just been cracked by the 2 of them, had more and more cracks. After a while, they could see the spirit beast's body through the crack. Bang! The sound of the broken stone house. With a crack sound, a black shadow broke out of the house. After several meters in the air, it fell on the ground steadily and forcefully. Gravel diffuse, black figure in the dust, hazy. But it is not difficult to see that the posture is strong, with great spiritual power and strength. Cloud Dance looks at the spirit beast in front of him, his eyes are dark and turbulent. This spirit beast is not in the same level as the spirit beast I met last time. This spirit beast has human nature and is vicious. You must be careful. The old man looked at the spirit beast coming out of the broken house, and there was no way to stop it. The only thing he could do was to worry about them. The spirit beast's body is only 2 meters high, and it is surrounded by dense spirit power. It seems that even a breath sound hides great spirit power. Most eye-catching is that pair of strange blue eyes. Yunwoo seems to see disdain and irony in those eyes. I'm in a bad mood today. I'll give you a chance to live. Now go away. Spirit Beast Blood Red Eye Sun stares at two people, between the speeches revealing Ruthless. Oh, a beast that can never be transformed into human form, what capital is there to say that? Cloud Dance mouth cold a hook, looking at the Spirit Beast, words. What did you say? When the Spirit Beast heard this, he roared, and the breath around him suddenly condensed. Say you can only be a beast forever. Cloud Dance sneered. Since it is so grumpy, use words to provoke it, so as to test its strength. But a vicious beast, no matter how spiritual, can't be transformed into human form. I think you are looking for death. Spirit Beast Big Drink A, Blood Red Mouse Sun a Ruthless, suddenly toward Cloud Dance hit. Long Qingxia looks at the Spirit Beast, and his smiling eyes are a little deep. Looking back at Shang Yun Dance, he said, go to exercise your muscles and bones for your husband first. You'll see if you're handsome for your husband. As soon as his voice fell, without waiting for the Cloud Dance to say anything, a phantom passed by and fell on the Spirit Beast. In such a hurry, I will help you. The Spirit Beast roared. In an instant, the dragon jumped down, and the Spirit Beast kicked forward and swept the dragon. Like lightning, ferocious speed. Long Qingxia stood in the same place, his mouth was stained with bloodthirsty traces. Suddenly, a pace suddenly appeared in front of the Spirit Beast. The blood-red eyes of the Spirit Beast were surprised. It was so powerful that it couldn't take it back. Ah! A roar enough to shake the whole ancient town tore the air and carried it through the sky. At the same moment, Long Qingxia, holding the épée, was repulsed by the blow just now. Épée lifted the surface, a gully appeared. Cloud Dance can feel how much strength the dragon used to stop his backward body. Cloud Dance will move the eyes to the Spirit Beast. In that second, that pair of indifferent and calm eyes, died with a touch of surprise unbelievable. That Spirit Beast is actually picking its wound there. The blood trickles down. It feels like it doesn't hurt. It pinches out the broken bones in the wound one by one. Ferocious wound, DC blood, fuzzy flesh and blood. Cloud Dance can't help frowning slightly. As if she had just come to this strange world and was treating her wounds in that lake. But today I see this scene, but I feel disgusted. It doesn't hurt. You have to be careful about that. The old man's voice came again from 100 meters away. Old man. Try one more word. The Spirit Beast roared and opened his tusks. He wanted to eat the old man every other day. Cloud Dance Mao Guang a sink, eye ground is slightly surprised, do not have painful feeling. So even if he's chopping it 10 or 8 times, his reaction is just like this. Not only Cloud Dance was a little surprised, but also Dragon Qingxia's calm eyes were surprised. No pain, like a fighting machine, unless the parts are broken, otherwise the Cloud dances the Mao Guang Yu to see the Spirit Beast. The Spirit Beast also cleans up the broken bones at the moment, purses the mouth, vomits a few mouthfuls to the wound, took the claw to wipe. Cloud Dance. The feeling of nausea came again. Who taught it how to disinfect? Dare to be disgusting. After sipping the foam, the Spirit Beast stood up to look at Xiang Yun Dance and said, although I don't know what it's like to feel pain, I enjoy seeing your pain. I don't know the pain, do I? Let's dry your blood. The roast meat should taste good, too. The dragon leans lazily on the remains of the stone house, with a bloodthirsty smile on the corner of his mouth, and a dark haze appears. Is it worth beating if it doesn't hurt? He's not going to die like you are. With the cold hum of Cloud Dance, the speed of the black flame sword, which was possessed by the magic power and wind elements, turned into a solitary shadow in an instant. It lifted the air and hit the Spirit Beast steadily. Bang! There was a strong dull noise from the ground. The dust suddenly radiated around, with the power of the afterwave of the big knife, destroying the trees within a few meters, and the objects suddenly fell. The old man looked at this scene, the vicissitudes of life's sharp eyes or swept a touch of surprise. Although we have seen the strength of the girl. But her own strength is not limited to the early days of Wuzuan. Why do you feel familiar with the dark power on the dragon blade just now? Is it impossible? The old man shook his head and overturned his guess. After all, he just guessed, and could not really feel the source of the power. But because of this, he felt more likely to the spirit beast's nest was in the big pit. It took a long time for it to react. I beat you up. I'm angry. Suddenly, the spirit beast jumped in the air, and had already jumped out of the pit steadily. The anger in his red eyes continued to spread. All of a sudden, his whole head was bright red, and the long hair on his head seemed washed by blood. It's gloomy, weird, and scarlet. The cloud dances the phoenix. Mao tiny am I, looking at the spirit beast. Blood red of ferocious, the Mao Zhongsan cold suddenly appear, even the words all say of disorderly, return to call oneself Big Yi, return PASE, what capital do you have? Suddenly, the vine of wood element shakes away like a snake, and the spirit beast flies away. Look where you're hiding. The cloud dances, the eye light appears a touch of scarlet, the wood element vines are winding, everywhere. The fire element burns on the vine, and the spirit beast can't settle down at all. This makes the spirit beast a little scared. Is wood and fire the same? This girl, well, is that all? However, the spirit beast jumped and fell on the boundary outside the vine. And cloud dance after it fell on the border, also followed to the border. At the boundary, the location of the rockery can no longer be seen. The red eyes of the spirit beast are fierce, and the powerful spirit force is like a mask, protecting him and blocking any attack. Right now. The cloud dances a big drink, the figure is like shuttle, the bar went up the spirit beast's attack. And the Long Qing Xia, who has been ignored all the time, has arrived at the rockery at the moment when the cloud dance just exits. Purple fighting edge appears, with the power of black haze. With the sound of changing color, the rockery is divided into two. After a loud roar and clear vision, the old man's figure appeared in front of Long Qingxia's eyes. Long Qingxia looks at the old man's magic mask, his eyes are dark. There's a power shield in there. If one's own strength is not as good as that of the person who casts the aura, he will be attacked by his own strength. On the contrary, if one breaks the aura, he will be attacked by the aura. The spirit beast hears the loud noise, looks at the broken rockery, red eyes Aleng, the body actually has a shiver, looking back at Yin Han, staring at the cloud. You dare to lie to me? My master will kill me. I'll bury you too. Bang! The huge spirit power erupted from its body, and the two figures were instantly knocked away. The aftershocks are constant and the shadow is in a mess. Cloud Dance Dragon half kneels on the ground, eyes light heavy, all feel the breath of the body. In the ancient town, all people put their consciousness on their side, and this continuous roar made everyone smile. It's a long time since ancient town was so busy. Eat this. At this time, Yunwu takes out the elixir of spirit beast in the space and puts it into the mouth of Dragon Qingxia. Just that blow, Dragon Qingxia blocked most of her strength. She can feel the breath in his body, and the elixir can quickly recover the internal injury, which is just useful. Long Qingxia felt that a cold thing in his mouth slipped into his throat, his eyes were bloody and staring at the spirit beast, and the corners of his mouth were stained with a bloody smile. Suddenly, he felt that the cold things were spreading out, and the restless and disordered breath in his body had been suppressed by the cold things. His eyes slightly narrowed, looked back at Cloud Dance, evil spirit a smile, for husband front, you back. All of a sudden, a flash of mirage passed by, and the dragon had been entangled with the spirit beast. After several fights, Yunwu found that the spirit beast had no other moves besides powerful spirit power and rapid reaction. Suddenly, she turned her eyes to the old man in the distance, and looked at the smart mask around him, with a smile in her eyes. Attack Sun's shield with Sun's spear. The Cloud Dance sees the spirit beast and dragon to pour evil a neutral gear, purple shadow quickly passes by, toward the old man Ling, but that speed is much slower than usual. The spirit beast glanced at the galloping figure of the cloud dance, and the blood-red eyes were rolling. "Don't let that old man go." The spirit beast chased away, and his figure was quick and agile. At the moment of catching up with the clouds, the huge spirit power in his body appeared faintly, turned into a circle, and seemed to break out. "Bury me first." At the moment when the powerful spirit power attacked, an épée crossed between Yunwu and spirit power. Yunwu left and retreated to a safe place in the next second. At the same second, the épée was attacked by spirit power and stabbed directly at the old man's spirit power mask. The spirit beast looked at the straight edge of the épée, red eyes suddenly azheng. "It's broken, Kang." The épée whirled, wave after wave. The épée was rebounded by the fluctuation of the spirit mask, and the phantom attacked the spirit beast. At that moment, the spirit beast didn't have time to think about it. He reflexively hit back the épée and used up all his spirit power. The spirit beast retreated a few steps, and the spirit power swarmed out like a thread. Instantly, the sky is silvery white, and the cloud dance can clearly feel the surrounding spiritual power surging, and the edge is like a blade. The épée clanged again, unstoppable, and the speed of piercing everything turned back to the spirit mask. "Ah, can't stab." Before he finished his words, two dark forces hit the épée in an instant. The three forces were integrated into one, and the aura burst into the sky with a bang. The vision is hazy, like a shadow. Bang! The dragon casts evil, the cloud dances, and the spirit beast is affected by the spirit mask, and the figure keeps retreating. The cloud dancing dragon retreats. The sword blocks the spirit power and is constantly rubbed. The black flame rubs sparks. It's a spark with lightning. After a long time. Quiet the strange silence around the stone house. It's a great feeling of freedom. Thank you for helping me. After death, an ethereal figure flying down, white beard, white eyebrows, white robes, a white old man, cannot say the feeling of immortality. I'm going to kill you, ouch. The spirit beast's tusks were sharp, and his whole body was bright red. In his red eyes, there seemed to be red liquid rushing. The cloud dances inside the emu to brush a silk surprised, unexpectedly whole body up and down overflow blood come. This is spirit beast or Warcraft after all? The scarlet hair looks like a devil from hell. However, she just didn't know that she was more evil than the devil. Spirit beast, your master is seriously injured now. It's estimated that he will practice in seclusion for 1.5 years. Live for 1.5 years. The old man stood not far away from Warcraft, with a white beard and a smile in his eyes. Spirit beast listen, red Mao Ling a Leng, the ferocious red on the body faded a lot, but still Dai Rub ran anger. Well, I'll let you go first. After pondering, the spirit beast glanced at the three people, and a trace of fear passed in the depth of his eyes. He knows he can't beat the old man. It's better to stay here for 1.5 years and let the master recover and let him be slaughtered. You let us go, but I didn't say I let you go. A arrogant roar, with the power of darkness, like ghosts. Bang! Before the spirit beast turned around, it was engulfed by the darkness, stifled on the ground, jumped up and down, and lay on the ground in ferocious pain. What is it? The spirit beast looks at the ferocity of the heart part, the eyes are dull and big, and looks at the whole of the blood spray unbelievably. The elixir has been taken away. Just for a moment the blood eye of the spirit beast overflows with blood and obscures its vision. The purple figure is reflected in its dark red, bloodthirsty, and arrogant eyes. Is she a human or a ghost? Why is there demonic darkness, beast-like blood? Cloud Dance's eyes are indifferent, his mouth is stained with a sneer, his blood is attacking purple clothes, and he is cold and bloodthirsty. A bloody hand is holding a silver elixir. The old man looked at Yunwu's powerful blow, and the old man's eyes were full of smiles. Kill the 7th level spirit beast with one blow? This is unheard of in mainland China. The 7th level spirit beast in the upper world is more ferocious than the 8th level Warcraft in mainland China. Moreover, this spirit beast is also malignant. This girl really surprised him. Long Qingxie put away the épée and looked at the spirit beast with a deep smile. It's a pity. It's better to dry its blood bit by bit. Cloud Dance glanced at him, and his eyes were full of dark. There is also the mood to complain here. Just now, I don't know who it is. I know how to put on X, which is my most calm and handsome posture. Looking at it, I want to be flat. The old man moved his eyes to Long Qingxie, surprised and thoughtful. Then clearly nodded, slightly pursed lips smile emerged. In this way, will the Admiralty be relieved? Yunwu takes back her eyes on the spirit beast and looks at the old man. The old man nodded with a smile. You saved me, of course. Who imprisoned you here? Yunwu is very curious, the old man's words and deeds, the power is immeasurable, it seems that every action has a huge power. The man who can imprison him must be amazing. The old man smiles like a spring breeze. There is no hostility in his smile. There is a kind of affinity of reunion after a long separation. Girl, the world is unpredictable. There are days outside the world and people outside the world. When you have a chance to go to a new space, you will understand that I am nothing more than that. The old man glanced at the distant sky, and there seemed to be something between his words. New space? Why should I go? Cloud Dance eyebrow tip tiny pick, I bottom pass a silk don't understand, the smile of the corner of the mouth is a little flimsy. The old man seems to know a lot, mysterious. Because your relatives have been waiting for you. My family? Cloud Dance micro frown, eyes puzzled looking at the old man. The old man just a little smile, then turn a mouth to see to Long Qingxie, don't seem to want to say what more. Cloud Dance to see this, naturally understand what to ask. Here's a drop of blood. If you inject it into the man's body, you can get rid of his perplexity. The old man took out a jade bottle from his arms and handed it to Long Qingxie. Dragon Qing evil result jade bottle, the mouth light passes a ray of light, the corner of the mouth holds smile way, thank you. The old man nodded, looked at Long Qingxie and Yunwu, pondered for a long time, and finally said, the person who can use Jinzhong to confuse must not be simple, or the person behind him must not be simple, you must be careful. The owner of the Beast Gate, is it simple? Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrow, words export then all the time looking at the old man's facial expression, seemed to want in his facial expression, looking for clues. If not, when the old man heard the word, Beast Gate, the smile at the corner of his mouth was obviously stiff, and the abnormal flash in his eyes was gone. He took a deep look at the dragon and Cloud Dance, turned and floated away. I didn't expect that it was the people of the Beast Gate. Your contact with the Beast Gate has just begun. Take care of yourself. A faint voice floated from the air. When he looked at the old man again, his figure had disappeared. I just started. Cloud Dance looks at the place where the old man disappears, frowns slightly, and the circle of ink night ice has come to an end, it's almost over, what does the old man mean? Long Qingxie's eyes drooped slightly, and the bottom of his eyes was dark. It seems that the more difficult things are behind. Cloud Dance glanced at him and asked, what do you mean? It means we can't elope. It's time to go back. Long Qingxie wantonly smile, spread hand, some helpless. The Cloud dances the eyebrow to pass a touch of displeasure, the corner of the mouth resents a coagulate, don't want to let her know again, stare at him one eye, turn round to leave the stone house. The old man was mysterious. She could guess some things. Everything that happened at the junction of the three kingdoms seemed to have something to do with the upper boundary. When they got what they wanted, they rushed back to Long Shugua as soon as possible. The wind is blowing, the hurricane is whispering in my ear, with a touch of cool. Suddenly, the phantom of galloping in the air suddenly stopped, and the dragon's evil eyes flashed a light. Cloud Dance eyes swept a touch of cold light, wind with a touch of dark and gloomy atmosphere. This breath, she is familiar with. It's Moibing. She looked down at the woods below. The black robe was covered with ice in the dark night, and she stood still. She was isolated by the cold void. Are you waiting for them? Let's go our way. Cloud Dance coldly glances at Mo Yibing, and then raises her eyes to the dragon. Although she knew that Moibing could not let them leave, she just wanted to try how Moibing would stop them from leaving. At that moment, the white phantom passed by. In a blink of an eye, the figure of Mo Yibing had fallen completely. The cloud dances, the eye light contemplates, and a doubt passes between the eyebrows. Not catching up. When he shows up, is he a soy sauce maker? That's the same second after her meditation. A touch of nothingness of the dark atmosphere, head-on attack, Dragon Qing evil figure suddenly jumped back, followed by the roar of continuous bang-down sound, from behind him. Two people steadily fell on the surface of the earth, the eye light swept a cold light. Not far away, the figure of the black robe still stood empty. Just returned home, so eager to come out can go back. The quiet voice of the ice in the ink night is like running water, with the cold meaning. The face under the black robe was as white as a corpse, bloodless and eerie. Give me your strength and this woman, and you can leave. Ink Night Ice saw a dragon to pour evil, in creepy eye ground greedy smile emerge. Do your spring and autumn dream. He's willing to hand it over, but I'm not willing to give it. I'll take it myself if I can. The cloud dances the Mao light to put on bloodthirsty cold on to pass by, the corner of the mouth starts to put on a cold sense smile. Suddenly, the black flame sword has appeared. It seems that this time he wants to solve them together, so as to avoid future trouble. Is he overestimating himself? Did he think they would still be at his disposal, as they were at the beginning? He wants to avoid the worst, so does she. Let's see who has more capital. Mo Yibing closed her eyes slightly, absorbed the breath in the air, and the uncanny greed in the corner of her mouth continued to expand. It's really the temptation of delicious power. I'm afraid you don't have that good luck. Cloud dance cold rebuke a, black flame big knife circle but go, sharp edge whirl half sky, wipe to ink night ice. The ink night is icy cold, eyes flash, glanced at the black flame broadsword, the palm is lifted to the half space, the void pinches, the broadsword instantly, sonorous, a sound, stopped hovering, buzzing. Bang! In the same second, Mo Yibing's body flew out like an arrow that had taken off its bough and hit a 1,000-year-old tree. It bounced back and stopped. But he still stood steady, that pale as dead body's eye sun inside, faintly of a white dissimilarity pass by. She and Long Qingxie heard the sound of crack, just now ink night ice dead silent eyes coagulation cloud dance, cold sense terrible. Just now he easily refused broadsword, but he didn't expect that a strange force surrounded by the black flame made him unable to defend and resist. What is the dark power that can devour him? Suddenly, ink night ice palm turned out, a strange black breath emerged. Suddenly, Yunwu felt a strong suction, with Zizi's whistling, as if to suck her in the past. Dragon Qing evil mouth raised a smile, eyes heavy looking at Cloud Dance, Heart Reed said a word with her. Cloud Dance coagulates him for a long time, just take back sight. It's a good way Cloud Dance eyes Jing Mang, mouth a yang, since you like my powers so much, then I will give it to you, it depends on you dare to. In an instant, Yunwu gave up resistance and let the dark breath suck her away. The Mo night ice is calm and greedy, the mouse sun inside flits over a surprised, immediately take back the strength on the hand, but still late a step. The sword body formed by wind element has been shot from Yunwu. They are only 1 meter away. Bang! Mo Yibing was hit by the elements of cloud dance wind. At that moment, he made a fierce hand to beat the cloud dance away, and the purple figure could not be controlled. As soon as the dragon's evil eyes sank and his figure swept, he fished the cloud dance in the air in his arms and said with a trace of waves, "Are you okay?" Yunwu stood up from his arms, slightly raised the corner of his mouth, shook his head, and looked at the dark ice with cold eyes at the moment. I don't know how the master felt about this blow. Her smile is bloodthirsty and cold, like poppy chestnut blooming. As early as the second when the wind sword hit Mo Yibbing, she used the space boundary, just in case Mo Yibbing was angry. Otherwise, at the moment when he was injured, he still beat her away. All the attacks were resisted by the space barrier. Mo Yibbing's calm eyes were stained with a touch of cold anger, and the extremely cold voice swept out of his voice. I think you are looking for death. Suddenly, the strange speed of the ice in the ink night flashed. In an instant, that pair of white hands turned into gloomy bones, and the wind came at a high speed. At that moment, his whole body was enveloped by the dark breath and kept spinning. All of a sudden, the whole half-sky was gloomy, like a mirror, but now the dark clouds were pressing down. The ineffable darkness suffocated Cloud Dance Phoenix Eyes Micro Mi, Zoran set off the body evil bite to fight with it. The confluence of the two shades of darkness is fusion and phagocytosis. All of a sudden, the evil figure of the dragon swept by and pushed out, exerting the power of darkness and haze from behind the cloud dance. When the three forces of darkness meet, most of the sky falls into the darkness of death, like the end of the world. Where the darkness goes, all living beings are full of hazy darkness. It seems that they have been swallowed up by these dark forces and finally turned into a pile of bones 100 meters from here. A dry thin shadow suddenly appeared, looking at the dark cloud sky. A touch of surprise passed in the dark cold eyes. Father used that. Who is he dealing with? Is it in the blink of an eye, the withered and thin shadow suddenly disappeared, leaving only a gust of wind and fragments of leaves. It's a pity that such delicious power is wasted. Let's let you live for a while first. Bang! 3 figures in mid-air, instantly ejected by the dark forces. Dark in the air, the darkness erodes the sight, and can only be judged by feeling. In a flash, the figure of Mo Yibbing breaks through the darkness, and comes to Yunwu with the gloomy from hell. The dark white palm shows the only cold light. That's too fast. If you hit it, you will lose both sides. Cha! The sound of white bones in the flesh. But in the same second, Mo Yibbing's body also rolled out in confusion. It seems that everything is still in this second. When the darkness faded and the light suddenly appeared, whose eyes were red with blood. The cloud dances in a daze, the dragon pours evil in a daze, including Mo Yibbing, who rolls out in a mess. It's also unbelievable. They all looked at the man who stood in front of the cloud dance and couldn't react for a long time. Lu Bai. Cloud Dance stunned block in front of her. Lu Bai, blood from his heart. Called Lu Bai's figure, it seems unable to support, fell in front of Yunwu. Cloud Dance almost subconsciously stretched out his hand and supported his body. And the blood on Lu Bai's chest, dyed the purple clothes of Cloud Dance, red her eyes. She couldn't believe it and called out tentatively. Lu Bai. How could he suddenly hear? Lu Bai heard her words, slightly wrinkled eyebrows spread, confused dark eyes spread a stiff smile. Go, poof. He pushed away the cloud dance hard, and the strength in his body surged, and a mouthful of blood gushed out. Cloud Dance was pushed a stagger. Some of the Muna looked at Lu Bai's blood ferocious chest. On the other side. Ink Night Ice, looking at Lu Bai, cold angry eyes across a touch of obvious surprise and anger, around the cold addicted to kill, diffuse space. You. Lu Bai arm on the ground, face pain, pale as paper, slightly raised his eyes to see the Ink Night Ice, let her go. However, as soon as the words came down, Lu Bai's figure fell into a pool of blood. Damn you! All of a sudden, a white figure passed by, the roaring sound of Ape galloping in the ear, the sharp silver on pulling, unreal and uncanny. Stab. The sound of skin cracking. Mo Yibbing hasn't caught the dragon's evil figure yet, so he waves his épée in the air and cuts Mo Yibbing's chest with his sharp edge. Blood poured everywhere, dyed his white clothes red, scarlet his eyes. He's angry. In the eyes, completely scarlet and cold, extremely gloomy killing. The last sword, it's his. This sword is ours at this time. Mo Yibbing also reacted and suppressed his anger. His eyes were full of haze. Will you still have a chance? Click. The sound of broken bones came again. Mo Yebing looks at the épée on the shoulder, and his angry eyes pass by with a touch of surprise. A sword cuts his defense, but can it hurt him to the bone? He seemed to be able to smell the breath of strength blooming on him. His angry eyes glanced at Lu Bai in the pool of blood, which changed strangely. Good, good, good. I'll let you go this time. Next time, I'll give you all your strength. Hei's cold voice, such as cold sharp fall. Suddenly, for a moment, the figure under the épée of Dragon Qingxie disappeared strangely. Long Qingxie's face sank, and his evil eyes swept around. His sword was sharp, and his blood was dripping. In the same second, lying in the pool of blood, Lu Bai is attacked by a strange force. In an instant, the whole forest, in addition to a mess, only Cloud Dance and Dragon Qingxie were left. Mo Yebing took Lu Bai away. Long Qingxie's épée sword went to Yunwu and put her in his arms. He said in a deep voice, "Don't worry, he will be okay." Yunwu frowned and said, "You know, I don't like to owe anyone a debt of gratitude. Just that blow, I'd rather you block that blow for me. What I owe you, I'm willing to use everything to repay. What I owe others, I can't repay anything." Dragon Qing evil eyes slightly droop, will her circle more tightly. "I know, I said he will be okay, so you don't have to repay anything. Is it really going to be okay? What if it's not?" Cloud Dance raises mouth to look at the dragon to pour evil, the eye ground flashed a touch of complexity. "I promise, he will be fine. When will he miss what he said for my husband?" Dragon Qing evil sword eyebrow tiny pick, coagulate her to beg to expect a vision, promise. The cloud dances, the corners of the mouth are sketched, and the light of the eyes flits past an imperceptible meditation. Lu Bai really never thought he would not life for her to block that fatal blow. On the contrary, it made her feel that she didn't like to be in debt. Is it his opponent? Cloud Dance nest in Dragon Qing evil arms, indifferent asked. It's not a coincidence that he hit Moibing 2 times in a row just now. In this way, it's hard to say who will win or lose the power of Mo Yebing. What do you say? Even if he doesn't block the blow for you, do you think he will hurt you? Dragon Qing evil eyes deep, the corner of the mouth raised a smile cannot say what deep meaning. Cloud Dance smile, in the same second of that blow will ink night ice hit fly, how strange speed, if Lu Bai doesn't block that blow for her, Long Qingxie will block for her. If that's the case, maybe they're just suffering from internal injuries. But now, if something happens to Lu Bai and he owes such a debt, it is estimated that in her whole life, her heart of indifference and determination will carry this thorn she never likes to owe others. The messy woods and the embarrassed figure gradually disappeared in the hazy cloud. When Yunwu and Longqingxi return to Longziguo, they haven't seen Moibing all night. They are probably healing. This just gives them time to get rid of the Golden Bell puzzle. As night falls, the moon and stars are clear. Outside the Sulong Hall, 2 figures are walking slowly, like a leisurely walk. "I want to see my father." Long Qingxie glanced at the 2 guards outside the Sulong Hall, and his eyes narrowed. 2 bodyguards smell speech, look at each other, one of them Wei, 3 princes, the national teacher has order, the emperor old disease relapse, except he can't see anyone. Oh. Since it's not my father's order, whose order is bigger than mine? Is it a national teacher? This. 2 bodyguards looked at each other, eyes alert, 3 princes, or don't let do under the embarrassment. Of course it won't embarrass you. Without waiting for the dragon's heresy, the cloud dances, the eyes are cold, the hand is taken in an instant, 1 person and 1 palm, and 2 figures fall to the ground. Action natural and unrestrained, valiant full, unspeakable domineering. These 2 people are the people of the Beast Gate, and their whole body reveals the special flavor of the Beast Gate. If you don't kill them, you're going to take advantage of them. It's faster than the last time. I worship my husband. Dragon Qing evil spirit smile, a little man's posture, obediently against her shoulder. Cloud Dance shoulders a drop, white he 1 eye, do business. In the Dragon Hall, the candlelight is dim, but it's not difficult to see that it is the Emperor's residence. It's resplendent everywhere, exquisite jade, extremely luxurious and willful. Yunwoo glances at the furnishings in the Sulong Hall. His eyes are shining. There are so many gold, silver and jade porcelains here. Can't you see them without him? The space ring is empty. It really needs something to fill. I don't know if there is a treasure house like the Zhou dynasty in Longshu Kingdom. Long Qingxia looks at the cloud dance, stares at the eyes of the gold and silver utensils, a black line appears on his forehead, and the bottom of his eyes is helpless. How could he not know what she was thinking when he remembered that she had swept away the national treasury in the Zhou dynasty? The smile in the corner of his mouth continued to spread. Don't be such a thief. If you like, the whole country is yours. No. Cloud Dance immediately refused, then pick eyebrow mysterious smile, I prefer to engage in business. That's good. You can't escape from being a little man, your majesty. Please give me some warmth. Long Qingxia's whole body is hanging on her. I want to bury her. Who dares to take such a little man? Not serious. Well. A angry rebuke, a dull pain hum. Dragon Qing evil mouth corner a draw, the eye ground passes a silk to spoil to drown of smile, lift of foot, limp of catch up with that wipe of figure. Yunwoo walks into the gauze curtain and sees the figure of Long Yaozi lying on the bed. At this time, he was sleeping, or rather sleepy, and could not hear their voices at all. Long Qingxia follows in and sees Long Yaozi's figure. A deep look passes through his deep eyes. Let's get rid of his doubts first. Yunwoo looks at the complex abnormality of Long Qingxia's eye ground, frowns slightly, and the star eyes droop slightly. It seems that he can feel his mood at the moment. Dragon Qing evil slightly jaw head, pulled to pull the corners of the mouth, reluctantly show a smile. He took out the jade bottle from the space and handed it to Yunwoo. Cloud Dance Light glanced at him one eye, not easy to notice of Sai A, took the jade bottle. She took out a dagger, cut off Long Yaozi's wrist, and put the blood in the jade bottle on it. The water element in her palm appeared and wiped it on his arm, and the wound healed. I don't know what the result is. The cloud dances the Mao light to brush over a touch of meditation, slightly point to of say. The side effects of Jin's Honghuo are very serious. Long Yaozi has been in Jin's Honghuo for nearly 20 years. Even if he has relieved Jin's Honghuo, he may not be able to return to normal. Long Qingxia coagulates Long Yaozi. His eyes are calm. He can't see his mind at the moment, but his eyes are more complicated. Let's go, and we'll know the result tomorrow. Cloud Dance coagulates one-eye dragon to poor evil, don't want to let him stay in this place again, pull up his hand, walked out of the Night Dragon Temple. Walking out of the gate, Yunwoo looks at the two guards lying on the ground outside the hall. Their eyes are slightly narrowed and they meditate for a moment. They pull the dragon away. Little thing, where are you going to take your husband? With a smile, the dragon looks at the cloud dance that has been pulling him away. A touch of warmth appears at the bottom of his eyes. Suddenly, Cloud Dance suddenly stopped, heard in front of the abnormal, Mao lights and cool for a moment, and Dragon Qing evil found a place to hide. After they hid, Yunwoo felt how bad it was now. You have to be sneaky in your own territory. Weak explosion. Sword Dharma Protector, please tell the National Division that I will raise food and grass as soon as possible, so that the Feng family army will have no worries and work for the National Division wholeheartedly. Feng Qinma, the commander of Feng Jiajun, one of the three armed forces of Lung Ziguo, sounded, I will tell the National Division. In the near future, there will be a large-scale operation. I hope Feng Jiajun can do his best. The man who was called the Left Dharma Protector said in an indifferent voice. After the two left, Yunwoo stood up, his eyes sank and looked at the dragon. Is that the commander of one of the three armies? I have long heard that there are 3 soldiers in Lung Ziguo's army. The man is wearing a suit of armor. He has sharp words and domineering behavior. At first sight, he is a leader. Long Qingxie nodded slightly and looked at Feng Qingma's back. A sneer came up from the corner of his mouth. The cloud dances in the MU to pass a touch of surprised. The big army commander is all bribed by the person of 10,000 beast door. It seems that Mo Yebing is really ready for war state full. Is his large-scale action aimed at preventing you from returning to Longshu? Or is this large-scale operation inseparable from you? Cloud Dance hangs Mao to guess. He should not have what bigger ambition. For example, unifying the three kingdoms. Long Qingxie looked at Cloud Dance's serious appearance and said, no matter what his large-scale action is, it's useless. I won't let him have a chance to act. Cloud danced suspiciously to glance at him, one eyebrow tip tiny pick. Do you plan to do a trick on the grain and grass? How can a man who is so open and aboveboard for his husband cheat in secret? How can he cheat openly for his husband? Long Qingxie casts a wink at Yunwu and smiles. Yunwu frowned slightly, and her sigh echoed in the night. How could she forget that he was the mysterious boss who monopolized the business of the three kingdoms, Long Shao? He doesn't want to give food and grass. Who can get it? While we are still safe these days, is it time to see the situation of our army in Longzuguo? Dragon Qing evil toward Cloud Dance pick eyebrow, ask her meaning. The cloud dances with a flash of eyes, thinking deeply. For Long Shugua, Long Qingxie, as Long San, must know the big and small things very clearly. But she really doesn't know much, so it's time to get to know. At this time, Yunwu felt a touch of familiar cool and indifferent breath close, smelling the breath, her mouth slightly pick. Nanganji? If not, in the dim night, what comes into our eyes is the figure that is clean and clean. I haven't seen you these days. Where have you been? Cloud Dance looks at the elegant Nangong Yi, and raises a smile at the corner of her mouth. When she first came here, she didn't see Nangongji's figure. She wanted to ask Long Qingxie, but every time she was interrupted by special circumstances. Under the white gauze, Nangong Yi's indifferent eyes smile. It's okay. I went out for a stroll and found that Long Shugua is really the master of the country. The world of national teachers. Cloud Dance eyebrows a pick, the corner of the mouth swept a sharp edge. Mo Yebing has controlled Long Shugua for more than 10 years, and his followers are everywhere. It's not surprising that he is in the world. So what they have to do is break off his paws one by one and feed them to the dog. The rising sun is hazy, pouring the whole country of Long Su. Outside the Sulong Hall, a small figure quickly swept into the hall. The two bodyguards in front of the door suddenly felt that the wind was speeding up. They looked at each other strangely and didn't find anything unusual. Yunwu sneaks into Sulong Hall. Long Yaozi is up. He is the only one in the hall. She micro-cu eyebrow, in the Mao light flit a doubt, Mo night ice is to imprison him not to become? Why don't you even have a maid and eunuch to serve? Good morning, Emperor. Yunwu walks up to Long Yaozi with a harmless smile on the corner of his mouth and tries to chat him up. Her response was a silence, no effect. Cloud Dance looked at Long Yaozi's still confused eyes and looked at him. Or a mentally retarded look, the old man will not give anything wrong. According to the information given by the tornado, even if you can't restore normal people's thinking, you can at least say a word, right? Why does he look the same as the first time I saw him? Suddenly, Yunwu caught a glimpse of the abnormality in his eyes. Although only for a moment, she saw it clearly. He's pretending. Cloud Dance mouth a hook, a touch of mysterious smile spread. She sat down beside Long Yaozi, glanced at him, picked up an empty teacup and said, I'm Long Qingxie's fiancé. Yunwu, I'm here to help him destroy the national master and get back everything that belongs to him. As she spoke, she noticed Long Yaozi's eyes. Sure enough, hearing her words, a touch of abnormal color passed through his confused eyes. Don't pretend. I've seen what I should see, and I've shown you my identity. Cloud Dance glanced at Long Yaozi and his eyes narrowed. As like as two peas and a noble man, he had a natural and innate superiority and dignity. He was just like X. Long Yao's confused eyes looked at the cloud dance, and a smile spread around his lips. Little girl, you are really powerful. She can see through his disguise at a glance. This girl is really not simple. Cloud dance hangs Mao a smile, look at him one eye way, you already good? Well, everything's back. Long Yaoza took up the teacup on the table and drank it down. There seemed to be some coldness in his words. So you're going to keep pretending? It's a good way to keep pretending. At least Long Qingxie won't be distracted, and he will be safe, but he will work hard. Long Yaoza was silent for a long time, sighed, little girl, don't tell him this in advance. Does it refer to the dragon? Cloud Dance hung her eyes and pondered for a moment. Finally, she couldn't help but ask, the purpose of his coming back this time is to take back Long Shugua. If he doesn't know you are well, he will. It's just what I want, and I enjoy it. Long Yaoza seemed to know what she wanted to say. Before she finished, he interrupted her. Ga? Just as he wanted. He's not going to. Cloud Dance suddenly pick eyebrow, the eye Mao is some to look at of Piao he one eye, still someone can say of the throne so relaxed. He's the best fit, little girl. You know that better than I do. Long Yaoza looked at Cloud Dance's gaze, and said with a smile. Although controlled by Mo Yebing for more than 10 years, he still remembers everything he experienced. He really didn't know much about his third son, but he was able to hide from other countries for more than 10 years, build up his own power without any flaw, and return to Longziguo above board. It can be proved that the strength, power and mind of Dragon Qingxie. For more than 10 years, so many princes of Longshu state are willing to give in to the influence of Moibing. Only he has been secretly planning to take back Longshu state. Who will not give the throne to him? What's more, he has been tired for more than 10 years. After the disaster, he has already understood many things without saying them. At this moment, he is really lazy to do this job. Yunwu stared at him for a long time. Only then agreed jaw head, the Mao light passes a deep smile, he is really the most suitable. What's your purpose, girl? Long Yaoza's eyes peep at her, and those eyes still have confused colors, seem to have the feeling of seeing everything, which makes Yunwu a little resistant. After a long meditation, the cloud dances around the corner of the mouth and outlines a perfect arc, to be the queen of Longshu. Her answer, let Long Yaoza a leng, then shallow smile out of voice, that good for him to keep the throne. Don't worry about that. That's good. In the future, he and Long Shugua will be handed over to you. Long Yaoza looked at the cloud dance with a smile and said seriously. Cloud dance a leng. Give it to her. The leader of Longshu Kingdom is so casual. However, Yunwu glanced at him and drew a curve at the corner of his mouth. I'll take it. Hearing the speech, Long Yaoza seemed satisfied and nodded his head, saying nothing. Seeing this, Yunwu naturally said nothing more, but suddenly swept away and disappeared in the Sulong Hall. Although she never liked any power, for her, it was all bondage. However, if he wants to, then she will accompany him. Long Qingxie, the man who lost the throne, didn't her plan to be the queen come to nothing? So whoever stops him from going forward, she will cut him down. Knowing that Long Yaoza is okay, she can be regarded as removing a stone from her heart. As for how to talk evil with Long, this is the best thing to do. With his IQ of 500, it only needs her to raise a little. At the moment when Yunwu came out of the Sulong Hall, he found that the dragon was standing nearby, coagulating her, as if he was deliberately waiting for her. Cloud Dance comes to Long Qingxie and glances at him suspiciously. How do you know I will come here? Dragon Qing evil wanton smile, attached to her ear around the way, because husband is your stomach ascaris. Cloud Dance white his one eye, the Mao light flits over a touch of meditation, pondering how to tactfully but not break one's promise to let Long Qingxie know. It's half ring. It's direct. Do what you want to do. Now there is no one to stop you from doing what you want to do. Cloud Dance cold not ding of say this words, let the dragon Ching evil slightly oleng. Then, that pair of sharp eyes deep skim a touch of undercurrent, dragon Ching evil mouth appeared a clear smile. This little thing always surprises him. The breeze blew and their robes floated. Let's go to Longziguo and see what those powerful soldiers and generals are doing. Cloud Dance mouth slightly up, turned away. Long Qingxie finally looked back at the palace. His eyes were a little deep. In a twinkling of an eye, he quickly followed the steps of Cloud Dance. Apart from the capital of Longshu State, there is a large open space. And that open space is where the Third Army of Longziguo lives. This is a huge square with all kinds of weapons. At a glance, it is boundless and suitable for training soldiers. At this time, the soldiers of the three services were practicing. However, seeing that scene was quite surprising. Because, in front of those soldiers, at this time like a pack of scattered sand train at will, no matter who you are. The momentum of the three armies is not as good as that of the 1,000 remaining troops of the Yunjia army. This ink night ice let the three armies decline. Don't you mean there's a big operation? Such an army, soldiers, large-scale operations, who will go? Fortunately, the Zhou dynasty didn't know that Long Yaozi was under control. It was also in the state of Long Qingxie and Wang'an. Otherwise, the state of Long Su would not exist long ago. How's it going? What do you think of the army? The cloud dances toward the dragon to pour evil, tiny a pick eyebrow, the corner of the mouth die a helpless smile. Dragon Qing evil slightly droops his eyes, a undercurrent surging at the bottom of his eyes, and a smile at the corner of his mouth. Since it's loose sand, it's time to rectify. Cloud dance tiny pick eyebrow, they but listen to the national teacher's order. It doesn't matter. Just let them know who is the master. Long Qingxie raised a mysterious smile at the corner of his mouth, winked at the clouds and left. Cloud Dance looks at the figure of Dragon Qingxie Pian Ran and meditates in her eyes. He won't really interrupt, will he? In this way, these soldiers are not allowed to drink from the west. Black-hearted. However, it also saves a lot of trouble. Long Qingxie, what's your plan? Cloud Dance glances at Dragon Qingxie and frowns slightly. What's in this man's heart? Do you admire your husband? Cloud Dance. Did she worship it? Since seeing the state of the troops, Yunwu secretly sorted out some training methods. When Moibing is completely gone, it can be used. However, it has not been 2 days. Ink Night Ice appeared again, just look at Cloud Dance and Dragon Qing evil eyes, some gloomy. In the back garden. Fragrant and charming, overflowing and moving. Guosher, would it be better to be hurt so soon? Cloud Dance is glaring at the Ink Night Ice that comes across, the corner of the mouth raises a sneer. I saw the ice-like pale face of the Ink Knight slightly changed, calm with greedy eyes, coagulation on a cold anger. Are you two challenging my bottom line? Een cold voice, with a cold edge, came to the ears of Cloud Dance. Did he say the bottom line? Cloud Dance sneers and looks at Mo Yibing's eyes, just like looking at an alien species. You know the bottom line? Is your bottom line based on your 3-foot thick skin? It's so smart. Take good care of your delicious power. The cold voice of Mo Yi came from afar with the figure he left. Cloud Dance eyes me. The power of delicious food? It seems that he really regarded her as food. However, the Cloud Dance also quickly took back the eyes on the shadow, dropped his eyes and stepped forward, a touch of meditation passed in his eyes. What will Moibing do next? All of a sudden, a touch of bloody sweet smell, ingested the tip of her nose. Cloud Dance suddenly lift eyes, a moment slightly frown. How could there be such a blatant smell of blood in the palace? Cloud Dance figure suddenly swept away, a phantom left. Ka. Broken throat sounds. Just after Yunwu followed the bloody smell, the last black-robed man had broken his neck by Long Qingxie. Cloud Dance micro frown, looking at the 5 figures. They are all important officials in the court. Are they all from the Beast Gate? She went to the dragon and looked up at his bloody and cold golden eyes. Dragon Ching, evil bloodthirsty look, evil spirit of looking at Cloud Dance, mouth a hook, first clean up here, he is easy to clean up. Cloud Dance slightly jaw head, he said right. The influence of the Beast Gate in the Imperial Palace is certainly not small. It is the most direct way to clean them up. However, it is necessary to clean up quickly and thoroughly before the Ink Night Ice is detected. How about a bloody palace? The cloud dances, the eye ground passes a fine on. Long Qingxie's mouth was full of smile. This little thing really understood his idea. It's night, silence. The 2 figures passed by like ghosts. Except for the illusion, they only noticed an unusual air current. Who's next? In the night, a cold voice broke the charm of the night. Cloud Dance glances at the dragon on the treetop, and her eyes pass a touch of depression. This man has long wanted to hunt these people, right? 5 people have already been solved. They are all instant and merciless. If they hadn't been investigated for a long time, how could they be so targeted? I have a deep heart. Under the moonlight, that pair of shining golden eyes are full of smile, like the brightest star, doting on the clouds. If you cleaned up the palace tonight, what would you do tomorrow? Dragon Ching Evil slightly droops eyes, didn't answer the question of Cloud Dance, but asked her. The best way is to escape. The cloud dances, the corner of the mouth raises a smile. Long Qingxie's sword eyebrow nodded slightly, it's really your style. If you can't fight, you can run. But what if it's Mo Yibing? Yunwu frowned slightly and seemed to understand his meaning. Is he trying to force Mo Yibing to kill him by plundering Mo Yibing's paws? In this way, the Ink Night Ice becomes passive. If Mo Yibing openly investigates this matter tomorrow, he will definitely find out about Long Qingxie. At that time, this reason will be enough to make Long Qingxie feel helpless. On the contrary, if Long Qingxie exposes the people of his beast sect, the whole thing will be reversed. Suddenly Cloud Dance, a face suspicious cold glance, Dragon Ching Evil, eyes light deep. Does this guy already know about Long Yao's recovery? That's why you're so sure. Here we are. Dragon Qingxie touches the smiling eyes of Cloud Dance, and the corners of his mouth arc a little deeper. He looks at the 2 figures coming not far away, and his eyes pass the light of hunters killing their prey. Yunwu looks at the 2 people who are coming. Feng's eyes are tiny. They are wearing barracks armor. Are they the minions who infiltrate into the 3 armies? At the beginning and in the middle of the great martial arts master's life, his strength should have been a resounding figure in the world of beasts, right? I'll go first. Hung Ling is waiting for a big meal. The cold voice, such as Qingquan wipe off, suddenly, purple figure disappeared in the same second, the moment has been blocked in front of the 2 people. They are still talking about each other. After suddenly seeing the figure of Cloud Dance, the pace suddenly, sharp eyes swept a touch of surprise. They looked at the Cloud Dance, looked back at each other, did not feel the slightest abnormality. She appeared in front of them. Is this woman stronger than them? Just now, if she wants to kill them, I'm afraid they have. It's you. One of the men with a pay was a little surprised when he saw Cloud Dance clearly. It's well known that she's a summoner, and they've heard a little about it. Just a few days ago, I heard that she came back with Long Qingxie, but I didn't expect to meet her tonight. Cloud Dance mouth corner cold on a yang, hands ring chest, lazy cold glance these 2 people. I don't know what Miss Nine wants, do you? Another man, eyes alert of Ning Cloud Dance way. Give me your heads. Cloud Dance does not move, Leng Yan is glaring at 2 people. Suddenly, their faces suddenly changed, and a touch of anger flashed past their sophisticated eyes. What did you say? The Cloud Dances the eye ground to pass to wipe impatiently, clearly listen to clear but still want to ask again. Ink. Suddenly, a black flame swept by, strong ZZ power circled, in a moment, the 2 figures were like meteors. The speed is incomparable, the strength is unpredictable, the martial arts master level, also can only let her move the finger. The two men, who were shot away, stood up from the dust in the dim night. They looked at the clouds, and their eyes flashed with surprise. With that kind of irresistible power, one blow will blow them away. Is this the strength of the summoner? At this time, Dragon Qingxie also appeared, leaping in the air, standing beside the cloud dance, the corner of his mouth is still smiling. After seeing the dragon's evil, they changed their surprise into fear. Naturally, they know that they are not Yunwu's opponents, but it is possible for them to escape. But if the three princes are added, there is no possibility. Inform the door master quickly. As soon as the voice of one of them fell, they shook their bodies and suddenly attacked the cloud dance and the dragon. Under the night sky, the light of water element twinkles and binds the man in the air. The black flame sword rises and falls, and a touch of fishy sweetness is filled in the air. Water element recovery, the man fell to the ground, a pair of floating eyes, blood all over, staring at the clouds. Cloud Dance glanced at him, the smell of bloodthirsty emerged. In the hands of the black flame dagger, under the baptism of blood is particularly frightening. But at that moment, another person did not know where to take out a signal bomb. Phew! A meteor in mid-air, fireworks bloom, dark night, particularly dazzling. Long Qingxie looked at the fireworks, and the corners of his mouth laughed, and the purple fighting spirit whirled away. The man put the signal hand also confiscated back, eyes fiercely astare, looking at the chest constantly ups and downs of the abnormal movement, raised eyes to look at the dragon evil, fell to the ground. Two people, so it is easy to solve. However, what they don't know is that it follows the heart of Cloud Dance and Dragon. Tonight's work is done. Tomorrow's a good show. Long Qingxie looks at the gorgeous fireworks in the mid-air, and his mouth is cold. Tomorrow, everything starts and everything ends. Coagulating at the foot of a touch of blood, dancing clouds, eyes reflect scarlet, deep in the eye is absolute indifference. At this time, in the dark corner of the imperial palace, Missouri Yibing looks at the fireworks in the air, and the cold anger in her plain eyes emerges. Suddenly, the strange speed left and went straight to the Sulong Hall. The next day. At noon, the huge imperial palace is more solemn and quiet than ever before, which makes people numb. A strange and serious atmosphere permeates every corner. The most serious is the Hall of Peace in the early dynasty. Emperor, this is extremely bad. Please investigate it thoroughly. In the palace, there is a homicide case. The emperor can't ignore it. I seconded. Originally dignified and quiet to discuss peace inside the hall, now the civil and military officials of the Manchu dynasty, fierce noise. All the people put their eyes on the 5 corpses on the ground. The corpses were dripping with blood, and their death was extremely terrible. They were all staring at what terrible things they had done before they died. And today's morning, there are 2 more people confused figure, that is Cloud Dance and Dragon Qingxie. They came to watch the murder in the palace in exchange for the will of the national master. 3 princes, what do you think of this? Long Yaoza's eyes rigidly moved to Long Qingxie and asked faintly. When all ministers heard that Long Yaoza actually asked about Long Qingxie, they all looked at each other, and their eyes were full of confusion. The 3 princes grew up in the Zhou dynasty for so many years, it's hard to guarantee that they have no 2 hearts. It's a great taboo for them to go to the early court. Why did the emperor ask for his opinions? Long Qingxie glances at the 5 corpses in the ground and smiles. Then he raised his eyes and looked at Long Yaoza. When I returned to my father, my son felt that I had to thoroughly investigate this matter. Long Yaoza nodded, looked at the crowd, then thoroughly investigate this matter. Master, what do you think? Cloud Dance has been paying attention to Long Yaoza's expression, and a trace of doubt passes through his eyes. Isn't he out of control? How to make people feel controlled? Suddenly, the corner of her mouth was slightly raised, and her acting skills were vivid enough. In modern times, she must be a big shot. Mo Yibing's plain eyes swept the dragon to pour evil, and finally fell on 5 corpses. They were killed with 1 blow from the wound, and their 5 highest strengths were in the middle period of the great martial arts master. According to Wei Chen, no one in the palace was above the level of the great martial arts master except Wei Chen. Mo Yibing bowed her head respectfully, but there was no humble word in her words. His words, nothing more than cloud dance and dragon ching evil force to the top of the storm. People smell speech, eyes don't feel put on cloud dance and dragon ching evil body. Their strength must be above the great martial arts master, which is well known. Cloud Dance coldly glances at Mo Yibing, raises a sneer at the corner of his mouth, stands up, and gives everyone a cold glance. I killed people, so there's no need to investigate. Sizzle. As soon as her voice fell, people in the hall took a breath. She killed them all. How could she have such a wicked heart? Do these people have any grudges with you? Why the killer? All the means are cruel, with 1 sword in the throat. Is there any pain between them in killing their father? Cloud Dance thought for a while, cold way, no. Hiss. There was another chorus of surprise. No grudge under such a cruel hand. Is she mentally ill or is she naturally homicidal? Emperor, I'm so proud of killing people. I should be killed. When Feng Qinma heard the words of Cloud Dance, he glanced at Mo Yibing. When he found the sinister smell on Mo Yibing, he was afraid and immediately pointed the spearhead at Yunwu. The cloud dances the corner of the mouth to emerge a touch of creepy. The Mao light is quiet looking at Feng Qinma, just dare not see the atmosphere of Feng Qinma. As the commander of the First Army, he was brave and fearless, but their hellish smell still made him tremble. The natural indifference and coldness in the bones are the most irresistible. Long Yaozi looks at Cloud Dance with his godless eyes. Why kill them? I have no grudge with them, but they have a grudge with Long Shugua. Cloud Dance coldly looking at Long Yaozi, the corner of the mouth smile obviously deepened. The minister heard what she said and whispered. He didn't know what she meant. Mo Yibing looks at the smile of Cloud Dance's mouth. In her plain eyes, her cold anger burns up. Her frozen eyes catch a fierce glance at Long Yaozi. He broke the golden bell puzzle. For a moment, the whole hall of peace was smothered and dark. It was oppressive, but I didn't know why it felt that way. Long Qingxie, who has been playing with teacups, raises a dark smile at the corner of his mouth. What grudge? At this time, Long Yaozi's confused eyes gradually became clear, and his smart and wise look appeared. The ministers also seemed to find a trace of abnormality and looked around in disbelief. These 5 people are the minions of the Beast Gate in the palace. The people of the Beast Gate once chased and killed us both, and we almost died in the hands of their master. As for the purpose, I don't need to say anything more. Cloud Dance sneers and looks at Mo Yibing without taboo. Although these ministers did not know the existence of the Beast Gate, they should also know how terrible the people who could almost kill them were. All of a sudden, people listen to the words, follow the Cloud Dance's eyes to see to Mo Yibing. There is a look in the eyes, there is doubt, there is disbelief. You mean that's me? In the dark night, the murderous opportunity of the cold and silent eyes looms, but it is hidden by a smile. You said it yourself. Cloud Dance eyebrow tip a pick, a face irrelevant stall hand. The smile of Mo Yibing's mouth sank in an instant, and his cold eyes looked at Long Yaozi. Emperor, I think it takes time to investigate this matter. I'd better give you 3 days. I'll give you a satisfactory answer. Cloud Dance micro frown, the corner of the mouth smile gradually bloodthirsty. Want to fight for 3 days? Is it possible? With the decline of Ren's army, he supported Longshu Kingdom with the force of 10,000 beasts, and extended his paws into the Zhou dynasty, even the kingdom of An. It's not just about controlling Long Shugua. If Long Yaozi said what he was controlled, Lu Jiang of the Zhou dynasty would win, and it is estimated that he would join the army as soon as possible to destroy Long Shugua. The people of the Beast Gate will also participate in it, and then the scene will be out of control. In the current situation of Long Ziguo, it's just fish and meat that can be slaughtered. However, Yunwu is looking forward to Zhou Feiyu's winning Lujiang, which will reduce a big threat to Long Shugua. Now time is more gold than gold. If you give him 3 days, it's equivalent to giving up Long Shugua. Will she agree? Don't bother. I'll investigate it for you now. Suddenly, the powerful power of Black Flame Dagger suddenly appeared, and the atmosphere in the Hall of Peace was strange. The shadow of the sword is unreal. Only Dragon Qingxie and Moibing can capture its speed. Ink Night Cold Silent Eyes Bottom Cold Anger Sink now, almost no time to think, a strange power to meet the top of the head of the roar. Bang! The two powerful currents collide, and the air whirls like silk. The whole Hall of Peace was in a mess and there was constant wailing. The ministers had no time to respond, so they were shocked by the fluctuation of the power and flew for half a meter, all of them fell to the ground. Emperor, just tell me what to say. The National Master is not going anywhere today. I'll listen to you here. The cloud dances coldly to raise the corner of the mouth, the eye light inside a white scarlet bloodthirsty emerge. Ink Night Ice Smell Speech, the facial expression suddenly a sink, dull Mao Sun, cold anger also hide not to live. Long Yaozi put his eyes on Mo Yebing and pondered for a long time. He said, National Master, you have controlled me for more than 10 years. Are you not satisfied? Controlled for more than a decade? What does the Emperor mean by this? Has the Emperor always been controlled by the National Master? The ministers were in a daze, looking at the Ink Night Ice, the fundus of their eyes smeared unbelievable, but also some clear feeling. They have been very confused. The Emperor's old disease has recurred for more than 10 years, and the imperial doctors are at a loss. The Emperor has been in such a confused state for more than 10 years, and has not recovered or become serious. They always feel a little incredible, but now they are controlled by Moibing, which makes sense. Now that the enmity is clear, let's settle it first. Cloud Dance glances at the dragon's evil spirit, raises the corner of the mouth, attacks the body wind element, and sweeps out the figure. Ink Night Cold Angry Eyes a sink, dark dense a fade, a moment disappeared in the Hall of Peace. You don't want to escape, do you? The cloud dances to attack to roll wind element, brandish big knife, with the fastest speed stopped Mo Yebing's way, a face mocks to look at him. Ink Night Ice extremely angry smile spread, I just want you to die a little more spacious. At the end of the speech, his figure had swept out of the palace and left in the air. Yunwu and Longqingxi look at each other without saying anything. After they leave the palace, they chase each other in the air. Emperor, do you want to send someone? When the ministers saw this, an adult asked. But Long Yaozi waved his hand, don't interfere, send someone to have a look, and come back to report the situation at any time. Yes, soon, one man went down to work. However, the ministers and Long Yaozi remained in the same place, waiting for the news to come back. Although Long Yaozi's body is not very good, he is the father of Long Qingxie, and his brain is not stupid. At this time, Long Shugua's situation, he estimated that the psychological also know. Even if he wants to send someone to help, I'm afraid he will only help more and more. In that case, it's better to see how they deal with it. Just as it happens, it will be natural for all the ministers present to see the throne to him in the future. Leave the palace. Came to a spacious place outside the palace, Missouri Yebing really stopped to leave. Yunwu and Longqingxi seem to satisfy him. Here you are. Mo Yebing pulls up the corner of his mouth and looks at the cloud dance and the dragon with a strange smile. Cloud dance with dragon Qing evil looking at that Mo Yebing, the eye ground flashed a touch of undercurrent. You're really picking a place. Dragon tilts evil hands to embrace chest, evil spirit has drawn up lips cape. In the open space outside the imperial city, the so-called vision is the best, whether they can see the movement around them or let others see their movements clearly. Ink Night Ice Jia smile, of course, unexpectedly you send yourself to come, that I also can carry on my plan ahead of time. Plan? Ink Night Ice. That words, let Cloud Dance can't help but pick eyebrows. He's been exposed. What else can he do? However, the Ink Night Ice seems to see through the Cloud Dance thought. That pair of gloomy eyes flashed a cold smile. Do you think I have been in Longzuguo for more than 10 years just to control Longyas? You look down on me too much. With that, Mo Yibing seemed to think of something funny, and suddenly looked at Yunwu. Do you really think that if you kill some of my little characters in the palace, you will feel that you have recaptured Longshugua? Haha, it's really funny. Do you really think that what you do can escape my eyes? Now, I'll let you see with your own eyes what strength is. As long as I want, Longshugua will only be a chess piece in my hand. At the end of the speech, a strong breath suddenly rose from the ice body in the dark night and rushed to the blue sky. And in this moment, I saw a strong wind around, dust around, filled most of the air. However, this is the second, and then, in the forest around, a big dark mist flickered like 1,000 troops riding the wind. Are they from the Beast Gate? Feeling the breath in the air, Yunwu's face sank. But from the breath, we can see that there are a lot of people coming. The Cloud Dance in the heart secretly cry not good, immediately gave the Longqing evil make a wink, the Longqing evil body shape move, directly to the Cloud Dance's side, vigilant looking around. Be careful. Low voice, passing the ear of Cloud Dance. Cloud Dance nods, but the corner of the mouth outlines a strange arc. However, at this time the Ink Night Ice, but squint that pair of cold eyes, staring at the cloud. Yunwu, I know you have great potential. However, the Witch Clan has been destroyed. If you are willing to submit to our Beast Clan, then the Beast Clan will not lose you. In this way, you can also protect your family and your men. Even, I can give up Longshugua. Otherwise. Cloud Dance eyes a sink. A nameless fire emerged from the heart, but the corner of the mouth raised a cold smile. You are threatening me? Ha ha. Mo Yibing has no taboo, it's not a threat, just a little reminder, don't forget, you are in the cloud home of Zhou dynasty. Yunwu's eyes narrowed slightly. But the next second, Yunwu laughs, is that right? I'll see what you can do to hurt the Cloud family. See Cloud Dance unexpectedly don't know good or bad of don't move, Ink Night Ice I ground is gloomy a few minutes. But he was not in a hurry. He looked up in a certain direction. Cloud family, you can let the demon dragon in your Cloud family forbidden area guard, but your Cloud family army may not be so lucky. Cloud Dance makes my heart jump. Does he know about Yunjiajun? Since entering the state of Longshu, Yunwu has let the elite Yunjiajin and her assassin regiment sneak in secretly. She hasn't even said anything about Dragon's evil. Only in order to give the enemy a fatal blow at the critical moment. This Ink Night Ice, unexpectedly know her that Cloud family army of existence. If you want to lurk, you don't choose a better place. You know, Longshugua is my territory. Ink Night Ice see Cloud Dance that tiny a change of facial expression, the eye ground is gloomy a smile. Long Qingxia listened, his eyes were deep, but his mouth was cold. It seems that the National Division can't see the situation clearly. Long Shugua's turf, but you can't has the final say. The Ice Eye son of Mo Night turns to dragon to pour evil, in gruesome breath passes by in a flash, is it? Then try. As soon as the words came down, the figure of ice in the Ink Night had turned into a dark shadow and came straight to the clouds. Cloud Dance eyes am the corner of the mouth strange smile. I'm just about to have a try. How about my new bomb? Cloud Dance with a throw, the black bomb, straight to meet the attack of the Ink Night Ice Fly. It seems light and easy to throw, but the speed is amazing. That bomb, momentum is Nangong before with her, and she according to some modern knowledge, made some slight adjustment, will increase the explosive force a lot. Mo Yibing doesn't like it. He waves it. But did not expect that the bomb was not waved away, but straight toward him. Ink Night Ice surprised, a mass of black as if the essence of the fog, instant condensation, toward the flying bomb hit. There was a loud bang. Sparks splashed, the bomb instantly broken, burst of energy, the surrounding fog burst out of a hole. At the moment when the two kinds of energy contact, the power is strong enough to make people's face change. It seems that Mo Yebing didn't expect that such a small thing was so explosive. However, Cloud Dance is also a little deep in the heart. Wuzuan, later. No wonder, she can't see his strength clearly. It turns out that she has reached the later stage of Wuzuan. Cloud Dance is just in its infancy. When you reach the realm of Wuzuan, every step up is earth-shaking. For example, a strong man in the later period of Wuzuan can make a tie with 10 strong men in the early period. Even though Cloud Dance has always been able to leapfrog challenge, but also not fully grasp. The most important thing is that the people of the Beast Gate seem to have come from all directions. The purpose is very obvious, is to seize the Imperial City. However, the army of Long Shugua at this time can never be the opponent of these 10,000 beast men. Cloud Dance turns to see the dragon to pour evil, in the eye flash a wipe to refuse. Long Qingxie, go back to the Imperial City to protect your father. The vision of Cloud Dance tightly locks on the body of Mo Yebing, at the same time, whispers to Long Qingxie. Long Qingxie frowned and said in a deep voice, I'll stay. You're not his opponent. Then he stepped forward and his sword was shining with the color of ice. Cloud Dance just said what to say, but was interrupted by Mo Yebing. Don't think so much, do you think I will let you leave safely today? Unless you come with me, I will let the whole people of Long Ziguo bury you with me. What nonsense! Long Qingxie raised his voice and said, do you want to move her? Pass me first. With that, a very powerful momentum came out. The momentum is strong enough to make Yunwu a little surprised. That time, killing the man in the upper world, he should get the strength of the middle period of Wuzuan. However, at this time, the strength of Longqingxi makes people feel that it is not weaker than that Moibing. Two people who have just stepped into Wuzuan still want to fight with me? Ink Knight IC has been silent. Dragon Poor Evil, suddenly revealed his strength, eyes flashed a slight surprise. He soon regained his original look, even a little more creepy. Since you don't want to join the Beast Gate, you too should stay, and I was almost able to break through. The thick black fog suddenly burst out from the ice in the Ink Knight. With his body as the center, the continuous outward diffusion, where the fog goes, life is ruined. Back up. With the sound of Dragon's evil, he flew up with clouds. Boom. All this happened in a flash. As soon as the cloud began to dance in the area of Dragon Qingxie, he watched helplessly and was bombed all around. Ink Knight Ice is like a shock, like a warning. The smell of Een Duck is the strongest at this time, just like a vulture challenged with dignity. Make sure that the provoking people feel the horror of death. Little thing, it seems that you have to go first, and I'll come in later. Dragon tilts evil to block in front of Cloud Dance body, the tall figure gushes out the same black energy, counterattacks toward the fog which comes from the cover. When the fog came into contact with the dark power of Dragon Qingxie, it gradually retreated, as if it had met a natural enemy, and never spread again. At the same time, just toward the direction of the spread of fog, also suddenly stopped, no longer expand the encirclement. The black fog solidified for a moment. Ink Knight I see this scene, pupils suddenly shrink. Did he wake up, too? No, impossible. In the Ink Knight Ice Zhengleng moment, Dragon Qing Evil has bowed his head, said a word in the Cloud Dance ear. After hearing this, Yunwu was surprised. But also very quickly, then nodded, without any hesitation. Wind element package, suddenly across a streamer, disappeared in a certain direction. Mo Yebing suddenly responds at this time. I want to go. The dark voice roars, and the black fog cage wants to attack the clouds. The figure of Dragon Qingxie stands in the void with a strange flash, blocking the dark fog. Your opponent, it's me. Mo Yibing looks at Long Qingxie, and the look on her face can be said to be extremely ugly. On the other side, in Warcraft Forest, Ling Xiantian, with a team, has already reached the hinterland of the forest. However, the forest seems strange, as if the atmosphere is not right. And the surrounding black fog, from the terrain point of view, even within 100 meters are all swamps. Swamp in the forest? It's weird. However, on the swamp, the dense fog makes the buildings looming. There are no animals and plants alive in this place. Make Xian Dai with the team a little bit close. Just that not right dangerous feeling, but also in the heart of Xian Dai flash. Stop. Make Xian Dai suddenly stretched out his hand, let the team listen to under a tree. The soldiers stopped and looked at Ling Xuanchen, waiting for his next order. But Make Xian Dai but what words all didn't say, just stand in situ, quietly closed eyes, carefully feel the surrounding environment. At this time, where the soldiers were, the plants became rarer and rarer. It was not so much a reduction in the number of plants as it was more and more going this way. There were more and more withered trees, and the weeds on the ground became rare. Make Xian Dai open an eye again, the vision is full of shock, as if discovered the unimaginable thing general. Just now the team has not been found, until the Xiantian feel the surrounding environment is too quiet, this deliberately stop feeling. It doesn't matter. The quietness is more obvious. And in the surrounding environment, he could not feel any breath except soldiers. A breeze, the air as if with a faint fragrance of flowers, so that Xian Dai frowned, gently sniffed, want to distinguish what is fragrant. Aroma into the nose, a dizzy. Make Xian Dai in the heart big frighten, quickly hold breath. Then, he forced Yuanli to let out the gas he had just inhaled. Then he felt a little clearer. Hold your breath. Come on. Next moment, Make Xian Dai a roar. Some of the soldiers had been standing unsteadily behind him for a long time. At the moment, they were shocked by this roar. After reaction, they quickly learned how to make Xiantian look and recovered after a long time. Make Xian Dai see everyone return to normal, this just slowly relaxed a breath, prepare to start again. Just then, a strange voice came. Jia Jia, worthy of the Cloud Army, so soon found the poison gas in the fog. The voice spreads, make Xiantian's heart in the alarm bell big make, the strong fighting spirit gather in double palms up, vigilant of looking at all directions. Where you can see it, you can only see the withered trees. The voice just now seems to be coming from all around, and the echo is curling. It's impossible to distinguish the specific location of the speaker. Don't look for it. Strange voice sounded again, but now it is in front. A thick black shadow came from the white poisonous fog, standing 100 meters away from Lingxian. The soldier's eyes emerge vigilant look, one by one serious stand and Make Xian Dai after death. Fog dispersed, only to see, a large group of people in black robes, Xiantian and others have been surrounded. The man in black, at least 100. Those people's temperament is extremely strange, but standing in the fog, it has no influence at all. People of the Beast Gate. Xuantian's face sank. It seems that you know us well. The voice of the speaker just now rang out. Then, I saw the people of the 10,000 Beast Gates scattered to both sides, giving way to the figure coming forward from behind. The visitor is also wearing a black robe, but there are some patterns on his robe. Although it's not complicated, it's different from other people's identities. Moreover, the smell of Warcraft on him was stronger than those people. Walking to the front of the 10,000 Beast Gate team, the man said, "Is Ling Xuanchen? It's a remnant evil of the Witch clan. However, its level is lower. There's no need for me to deal with you. Come." The person up and down to look at to Make Xian Dai, but a few eyes, then see his actual strength clearly. For Ling Xuanchen, the people of the Beast Gate know a lot. However, that person words a fall, Make Xian Dai's eyes but suddenly a cold flash. I'll come back with this account sooner or later. The annihilation of the witches is definitely a great enemy of all the witches. Jia Jia. Here to Make Xian Dai of words, That person is a burst of strange smile however. Then his voice sank and he said, you are such a dark witch. People who are as low as ants need my help. I'm the Dharma protector of the Beast Gate in mainland China, Shirui. Make Xiande wrinkled frown, can voice but low cold smile, seem to have never heard a person mention. What did you say? Here to make Xiande of words, Shirui is a voice sharp. As if to hear a great insult in general, in the dark eyes can almost erupt anger. You're the only one who lives like a mouse in hiding. Naturally, it's impossible for me to be named Shirui. Well, I'll teach you a lesson. With that, Shirui moved to the side and pointed to his hand behind him. It's said that you are 100 elite troops of the Yun family army. Several teams have been scattered. Just in time, I also brought 100. It's not a loss to separate them. As for the two of us, let's fight alone. I heard that. Make Xiande's heart had a quiver, faintly came up with a bad idea. The elite troops of the Yun family army are absolutely secret. What's more, this sneak-in is also absolutely confidential, but they just entered here, they were just blocked here. And the people of the Beast Gate just took 100 people with them. Doesn't this mean that the people of the Beast Gate know their Cloud Army like the back of their hand? Is there a traitor in their Cloud Army? Or, the people of the Beast Gate have already infiltrated into the army of the Cloud family? They didn't notice. If so, it would be terrible. But at the moment, there is no time for Ling Xuanchen to think about it. Because after Shirui finished that sentence, it was as if he was afraid that Xiantian would not agree with him, and his hand twitched a strange chain. Then fly to make Xiande attack in the past. Make Xian Tianmu light a tight, to the person behind command a, careful, and then body shape a jump, straight path fly up. The power of fighting emerges. Before Shirui's attack arrives, Xuantian's figure has gone. But the next second. Make Xiande long sword vacate, turn body suddenly toward that Shirui attack back. At the same time, the people of the Beast Gate below also fought with the elite soldiers. All kinds of colors of fighting spirit, one after another appear, a flash of light, just a quiet dead place, at the moment instant explosion. As the battle unfolded, the combat effectiveness of the soldiers was also reflected. Unlike other soldiers, the combat effectiveness of these elite soldiers is absolutely many times stronger than that of ordinary soldiers. Not only does he have a strong cooperation, but also his martial arts skills are unpredictable. The beast men, who were much stronger than the soldiers, had no way to break them. Weak versus strong, but not at all inferior. This, however, made the people of the Beast Gate feel a little surprised. However, at this time of the war, can't drop the chain, otherwise, they can't get away with it. Therefore, when the people of the 10,000 Beast Gate came to the back, they did not hesitate to show the original shape of the half-beast directly, which enhanced their fighting powers several times. Elite soldiers have long been reminded of who they will face in the future. So, seeing the humanized form of the Beast Gate, he was stunned for a moment, but he was not surprised anymore, and immediately went on guard to attack. And now, make Xiande while in the sky and Shirui fight into a regiment, at the same time in the observation of the situation below. There are countless lights and shadows below. The light of the fighter's power is mixed with the miscellaneous breath of the Beast Gate, just like the interweaving of light and darkness. Each other is not compatible, but desperately want to devour each other. A soldier who rushed in front of him flashed in the face of the poisonous fog. However, because the speed is not as fast as that of the 10,000 beast men who have become half-beasts, when they can hardly dodge, they stiffly blocked the attack with their left arm. When the left arm came into contact with the poisonous fog, it was immediately corroded as if it had been exposed to sulfuric acid. Black along the arm has been up, it seems to want to devour him in general, the soldier's face because of the pain suddenly become very pale. However, the soldier waved his right hand broadsword and cut off his left arm. The left arm that fell on the ground was soon completely corroded, leaving only the broken bones, which symbolized what had just happened. Seeing this scene, the soldier didn't feel afraid. On the contrary, he seemed to stimulate the blood in his body. The next moment, with a big knife in one hand, he cut at the people of the Beast Gate. The people of the 10,000 Beast Gate, it seems that they don't want to fight like this. They are stunned for a second. But soon, a touch of ugliness flashed in the eyes of the people of the 10,000 Beast Gate. Jia Jia gave a strange smile. The beast's figure flashed, and his backhand wanted to attack. But don't want to, that cut to his big knife hasn't reached him, then directly was thrown to the ground. At the next moment, a dagger appeared on the soldier's hand, and it went straight into the heart of the half-beast man. The eyes of the beast man shrank. Seems, how also did not expect, this damned weak he a big section of a small soldier, unexpectedly can want his life. I'm not willing to. So, before he died, he angrily released his own poisonous fog, which also enveloped the soldier in an instant. Soon, the man of the Beast Gate was broken and fell to the ground with the soldier's body. This scene, just by the top of the fight in the make Xian Dai see in the eye, heart a pain. The soldier is fighting with his life. However, it also stimulated the roar and hard work of other soldiers. Who says the weak can't kill the strong? Death, but also pull a bottom. Today, they let this history rewrite here. Make Xian Heaven heart sad and happy, elite soldiers, in the future will become the soul of the Cloud family locked in, but also need to pay too much. Make Xian Dai at the moment a roar, the fight spirit on the hand releases more swift and violent, attack between incomparably fierce. On the other hand, Shi Rui has been very skillful from the beginning. As if, Make Xian Dai is a weak person in his eyes, be like the existence of ant, he thinks he dies, only need a finger just. At this point, he was teasing him. Even if, Make Xian Dai attack become more fierce, Shi Rui unexpectedly also just speed up some, as if don't see each other in the eye at all. Under the attack of Ling Xuanxian, it's like walking leisurely and leisurely. Make Xian Dai's heart crisis feeling more and more strong, see the battle below, but can't see the gratifying place. Although the elite soldiers seem to be full of qi, enough to fight for life. However, the strength of these people who came to block the Beast Gate is too high, and almost the lowest strength is the peak of the 9th level. And these soldiers, although after special training and the baptism of elixir, their highest strength is only 9 levels. After several battles, more than half of the soldiers in this team were killed and wounded. The people of the Beast Gate have lost more than 10 people. The 10 or so people who lost were all killed at the beginning because they despised the enemy. When the people of the Beast Gate saw the elite soldiers fighting with their lives, they were all frightened, but when they were frightened, they were more careful. And in the air, Make Xian Dai mind abacus play fast. It's no way to go on like this. The people of the Beast sect are obviously well prepared. He can't let these soldiers bury their lives in vain. They still need to support Yunwu. But when this idea flashed in the heart of Ling Xian Heaven, Shi Rui's figure directly appeared in front of him. Jia Jia, have enough fun, are you tired? Let me help you. Finish saying, Shi Rui a palm pats, twining the palm of black fog, directly toward the chest of Make Xian Dai pats. Make Xian Dai facial expression big change, the strong fighting spirit forms dun armor in the chest, the arms also in the moment cross to protect in front of the chest. But it was slow after all. Shi Rui claps his palm directly on the chest of Ling Xiantian. The black fog bumps into the armor formed by fighting qi and devours the armor immediately. However, it is also in the phagocytosis, the black fog dissipated. Strong impact, direct will make Xian Dai from the mid-air shot, mercilessly fell on the ground. Poof! A mouthful of blood spits out from the mouth, and a burst of qi and blood surges. With Shi Rui's strength, he didn't try his best. Otherwise, at this time Make Xian Dai spit out, certainly won't be bright red blood. A palm will make Xian Dai to photograph, the figure of Shi Rui immediately falls on the ground. After Shi Rui fell to the ground, the battle situation was just in a state of anxiety. At this time, he quickly separated. The rest of the 10,000 beast men stood respectfully behind Shi Rui. On the other hand, there are only more than 10 elite soldiers left. Help each other, standing behind the days of Xian, almost everyone's body hung color, some embarrassed. Young master, are you okay? A soldier hurriedly forward, will make Xian Dai from the ground to help up, Worry asked. Make Xian Dai strong supportive stand up, a hand cover chest, words almost can't say, but still forcefully press down chest of turn gush, see to opposite. Jia, dare to be called the witch people. It's so weak. No wonder the witch people will be destroyed. Shi Rui gave a strange smile. In his dark eyes, he could even show a sarcastic look. Now, tell me, is there any other army besides the Yun family army? Make Xian Dai a zheng, in the heart for a moment all sorts of thoughts flash over, finally coldly weigh, you 10,000 beast men's person isn't very fierce, how still need to ask me? Shi Rui's eyes narrowed and looked at Ling Xiantian dangerously. He said, oh, I know all your plans, including the so-called grouping. And now I want to give you a chance to save your life. If you don't say it, don't blame me for being rude. Today, it seems that I need to give my life here. And make Xian Dai, not afraid to die, the only pity is, he to die also didn't see grandfather's side. However, even if he died at this time, he would not have regret. Because he knew that as long as she existed, grandfather would be fine. Shi Rui sees that Ling Xiantian doesn't say a word. He looks like he wants to kill or cut casually. He doesn't want to fight at all. At the moment, he hummed coldly, do you think it's okay not to say it? But it doesn't matter. You are a witch. If I arrest you, I don't believe the woman named Yunwu. She won't come to save you. Just lead her out and kill her, then I don't need to know anything else that doesn't matter with that, Shi Rui's figure flashed. In did not give the soldiers the opportunity to react, the right hand a stretch, directly grasped to make Xian Dai's shoulder. However, he is about to catch up. A rich fire element suddenly appeared on his right hand. The hot temperature instantly dispelled the black fog of Shi Rui's right hand. Shi Rui screamed and quickly took back his hand as if he had been electrocuted. Who is attacking me? Shi Rui looks around and asks, but he doesn't see any shadow. It was he who was playing with Ling Xuanchen just now. But at this time, it is this move again, but his identity has changed from hunter to prey. The soldiers also looked around, but they didn't see anything. Only Xiantian was shocked, and his eyes became excited. Who is it? Come out to me. When Shi Rui sees that the other party doesn't show up, he immediately thinks that the other party's strength is not high, so he dares not show up, so he can only attack secretly. Immediately put away just now vigilance heart, a breath of Yin Duck emerged. Didn't you just say you wanted to lead me out? The voice of Cloud Dance came from afar. Next moment, her figure suddenly appeared in a tree next to Ling Xuanchen. A purple dress, set off the slim posture, but the eyes of the murderous Hao cannot hide. With a wave of Cloud Dancing hand, the rich water elements appeared, flying towards the soldiers and wrapping them up. The crystal clear water element makes the soldiers feel very comfortable. As if a warm current flowed through the whole body, the wounds that had been attacked before were healing rapidly with the speed visible to the naked eye. The elite soldiers were stunned. When they saw such a powerful cure for the first time, their eyes became extremely adored in shock. They looked at the clouds as if they were looking at the gods. Miss Nine. It's Miss Nine. Here she comes. Yunwu, however, is looking at Shi Rui from the beginning to the end. His hand in his sleeve is tightly clenched into a fist, which shows his anger in his heart. Just now, if she didn't arrive in time, all her elite soldiers would be buried in the hands of these beasts. You are Cloud Dance. When Shi Rui heard the words of Cloud Dance, he narrowed his eyes and asked. Dead man, no more questions. Yunwu's eyes are extremely cold. When he turns his hand, a fire element rises, and his right hand swings, a whip of fire element condenses directly. At the moment when the whip appeared, the surrounding temperature was a little hot. And the poison fog which was still threatening life just now was dispelled. Shi Rui's pupil shrinks. It seems that this Cloud Dance is different from the news she got. She is black pupil, not purple pupil. However, the strength seems to be much more powerful. It seems that you are really the Cloud Dance. Well, since you've sent it to me, I'm not polite. Shi Rui squinted and said. Shocked by Yunwu's strength, Shi Rui soon regained his normal look, and there was no fear or tension on his face. Why, they are looking for me one by one. Are you going to invite me to dinner? Cloud Dance gives a cold smile. As soon as the words were finished, Ling Xuanqian's low voice suddenly came, Yunwu, be careful, their strength is strange. Cloud Dance lowers a head just to see to make Xian's sky eye in worry of facial expression, can't help of mouth corner tiny a yang. Weird. That's just right. If you kill a man with strange strength, the strength of 10,000 Beast Gate will be 1 point weaker. However, under the worried eyes of Ling Xuanqian, Yunwu nodded silently, and then flew down from the tree, just standing in front of Ling Xuanqian. Cloud Dance, although you do have good talent and become a summoner, there are still many things you can't do in this world. For example, if you are wise enough to enter our Beast Gate, I can consider saving your life. Shi Rui said, his tone was as arrogant as ever, and he seemed to think that Yunwu didn't dare to tell him how. Yunwu's eyes narrowed slightly. Enter the Gate of Beasts? Not long ago, Mo Yibing also seemed to let her join the Beast Gate, but this little fellow also let her enter the Beast Gate. What's going on? It seems that not long ago, what they wanted was her life. Now, is it someone who wants her? However, no matter what their aim is, they are not very interested in Cloud Dance. However, not interested does not mean that she is submissive. Cloud Dance glanced at Shi Rui, snorted coldly, and said, I'm a man. I don't like others to threaten me with my life. Otherwise, the consequences will be very serious. Shi Rui was stunned, and then his face lit up anger. He pointed to Cloud Dance and said angrily, I really don't know. Do you think you can be arrogant if you have some strength? The master of the beast sect can take a fancy to you. That's a compliment. You are so arrogant. Ba master of the beast sect. Is it Ink Night Ice? Or something else? But the next second. Cloud Dance's eyes are a ling, want also don't want, the body shaped directly in a flash, toward Shi Rui fly away. Shi Rui only felt that there was a flower in front of him, but he didn't know what was going on. He just felt that there was a figure behind him. And a cold sword has been attached to his back. Cloud voice without a trace of temperature, slowly spread from behind, I said, threat me, the consequences are very serious. The icy tone is like the ice that has been frozen for thousands of years. It just makes people tremble. Even Shi Rui had a shiver and wanted to get out of the way. But as soon as he moved, he noticed the resistance behind him. His sword was sharp and cold, and it penetrated into his back through the black fog. Sharp stabbing pain comes from behind. Shi Rui, who hasn't felt the pain for a long time, subconsciously wants to escape. The voice coming from behind him again forced him to stop. Don't move, or I'll let you know whether it's faster for you to escape or the ice sword to pierce your heart. Shi Rui's face changed. It seems that for the first time, I finally realized the horror of Cloud Dance. However, he did not know that the real fear of Cloud Dance was not what he saw. This is just the beginning. Not far from the Xiantian see this scene, the eyes reveal the joy, for the strength of Cloud Dance and feel joy. You, what can you do to me? What if you're strong? There are more than a dozen soldiers here. do you think you can protect them? As long as I give an order, my subordinates will attack at once, and then no one will think about it. Shi Rui grits his teeth and says that he is not angry because he is held by Yunwu before he moves. Cloud Dance dangerously narrowed his eyes and said, "Is it?" The two light words make Shi Rui tremble in his heart. However, Shi Rui has not had time to understand the meaning of Cloud Dance. The next second, I saw a blue light passing, a figure flashing, into a shadow. The speed was no less than the speed of Cloud Dance just now. Lan Yu, with a sharp ice sword in his hand, rushes directly into the ranks of the Beast Gate, just like the Cloud Dance's assassination. With his fast speed, the short sword quickly stabs those people in and kills them. But in a moment, the tens of thousands of beasts fell down. Even the pit didn't say a word, as if he didn't even know how to die. Shi Rui turned his back to his subordinates. He didn't know what had happened. He just felt a chill passing behind him. It seems that the temperature of the air has dropped. Now I was still thinking about what Yunwu had just said, so I heard Yunwu speak again. "You ordered to have a try." Shi Rui was excited by these words, which aroused a trace of blood. He turned out his whistle again and blew it in his mouth. The commanders attacked him. But 3 times in a row, one more urgent than the other, but there was no movement behind him. Shi Rui is stunned. He doesn't know what happened. At this time, Yunwu's hand behind Shi Rui finally came out. Shi Rui turns around and sees dozens of subordinates standing there. At the moment, there are bloody corpses lying in all directions. Dozens of top 9 strength. Died like this? There was no movement, and beside the dead body was a handsome man in blue, with chilly air. Shi Rui's legs softened with fright, and his blood that had just been aroused was extinguished again, and he almost sat on the ground. According to the plan, you take the rest of the people to go first, and if you meet the people of the Beast Gate again, you don't have to bear it and show your housekeeping skills. Cloud Dance looks up to make Xian Day to say, so-called Sea family ability, nature is to say witchcraft. Ling Xiantian specially selected several trustworthy soldiers and taught them some skills of controlling witchcraft. However, poisonous insects are difficult to raise. They are not used at a critical juncture. Therefore, Ling Xian genius has not really used it until now. Make Xian Day hesitated for a while, finally still nodded, "Wei, that you are careful." With that, he ordered the crowd to go. The remaining 10 soldiers immediately gathered together, under the leadership of Ling Xuanchen, and went to the previously agreed destination again. However, when he left, he couldn't help looking back at the Cloud Dance and the worship in his eyes. "Lan Yu, take him with you." Cloud Dance saw Blue Yu after the eye, then threw that Shi Rui toward Blue Yu. The strength of Wusheng. In her hand, it's like a small mole ant's object. It seems very casual. This just makes Shi Rui feel extremely ashamed, but he can't resist. Because, as soon as he arrived at the hand of Lan Yu, the frozen directly froze him. The horror of the heart, all rigid in the expression. At this time, Yunwu flew up in the air, opened his mind and looked for the scattered soldiers. She needs to do something else. At the same time, on the open space outside the Imperial City, the two figures turned into 2 streamers, directly intertwined in the air, the power of which almost shocked the half of the sky. But for a while, I couldn't tell who won and who lost. Boom! The loud noise of the song spread all over the Imperial City. At this time, no one dared to go out of the Imperial City to watch. In this terrible fight, the guard, who was hiding far away, reported back and forth to the emperor and the minister in the palace. It attracted the exclamations of ministers. The emperors and ministers who were only in the palace could not help but ignore the danger and came to the besieged city of the Imperial City. I want to watch the battle between the prince and the national division. However, what I didn't expect to see was the troops who were going to encircle the Imperial City and wear black robes. Yes. It's the army. Tens of thousands of people lined up to form a neat line, and all of them came to the Imperial City in 3 directions. What kind of army is that? However, when they saw those people wearing clothes, they soon made the ministers of Long Shugua understand. It's the national teacher. That's the unique dress of the national teacher. Those are the national master's minions. What are the people of the Beast Gate? How can there be so many people? They never know. Emperor, I'm afraid those are the minions of the national division. Please give an order to send troops to resist the enemy. Yes, Emperor, the national division has secretly set up this Beast Gate. Now it's still under the siege. It's really treacherous. Please send your troops to the national division. Boom. Before the minister had finished his admonition, an explosion of the powerful afterwave of a huge collision suddenly rang through the sky. He interrupted the minister directly. At the same time, the next second, those besieged ministers looked shocked. Because everyone saw that the three princes, who were inseparable from the national master, were shot down suddenly, and the dust was rolling. Lost? The third prince lost? What can I do? Long Yaozi looked at the scene and frowned. However, there was no panic among the ministers around him. On the contrary, in the eyes is the cold stability. Sending troops. At this time, the military defense of Long Shugua was empty. It was estimated that these civil servants and ministers were not clear, but he was very clear. Yunwu was very clear to them, and the national division was even more clear. That's why the national division came to the city. Judging from the scale of this operation, I'm afraid the national division has already arranged it. Even without the disclosure of this morning, the national master will have a city-seizing action of this scale. Now, the only thing Long Yaozi can hope for is his son, Long San, Long Qingxie. On the open space. In the middle of the sky, Missouri Yibing's pale face seemed to be a little pale. Some blood was oozing from the corners of his mouth, but his eyes were staring at the dragon on the ground. Fear flashed in my heart, he could hurt him. On the ground, when the dust is gone, you can see the dragon half kneeling on the ground, but it doesn't make people feel embarrassed at all. Not dead yet. Mo Yibing's eyes are locked on Long Qingxie. Long Qingxie stood up slowly from the ground and gracefully flicked the clothes on his body. His behavior was full of inexplicable evil spirit and deep. The fire you set up in those years could not kill me. Do you think you can kill me today? The voice is not light, but enough to let Mo Yibing hear clearly. Ink Night Ice eyes flashed a undercurrent, but the corner of the mouth is outlined. No too much, it's not good for you. Is it? Long Qingxie raised his eyes and glanced at him coldly. Breath, but at this moment into a very gloomy cold. Then I just want to know one thing. My mother, did you kill her? This problem has been hidden in his heart, even Cloud Dance, he never said. At that time, a fire almost killed him. Later, he survived, but he took his mother's life. Over the years, he's been looking for answers. Today, in any case, he wants to know what happened in those years. However, Mo Yibing seems to hear something funny and sneers. Aren't you the dragon Xiao who is rich in the three kingdoms? Can't you find the answer you want? However, finished saying that words of Mo Yibing, but didn't prepare to answer what. But when his hands turned and the black fog filled, his hands turned into white bones, just like the ghost claws, and quickly attacked the dragon. It's like trying to catch the dragon by surprise. Dragon Qing evil deep, eyes a narrow, a dry anger in the bottom of my heart, just want to fight back. But just then, a blue cold suddenly hit the Ink Night Ice quickly a dodge and open. At the same time, a cold and abrupt voice rang out, which made everyone stunned. I want to hurt my man. I don't know if you asked me. In the twinkling of an eye, you can see the figure of Cloud dancing, fast from far and near. The temperature in the air also goes from high to low. As if with a piece of frost, people cannot help but play a shiver. Master! Help me! As soon as he got close, Shi Rui, who had thawed in Lan Yu's hands, immediately cried out. When Mo Yibing saw the comber, he was angry in his dark eyes, but soon he was greedy. Didn't you run away? How dare you send it to me? Cloud dances to hook lips to smile, national teacher all such big formation came, where can I still run? By language when, Cloud hand a brush, just still in the hands of Blue Yu Shi Rui, suddenly flying to her hands. Cloud dance left hand simply stretched out, a pinch in Shi Rui's neck. Then the body moves, with Shi Rui flying directly to the side of Long Qingxie. How are you? A low voice, gently brushing the ear of Dragon Qingxie. Long Qingxie's beautiful face can't help but draw a smile of evil spirit. This little thing really makes his heart beat. However, he also responded in a low voice, I'm fine with you little thing. Mo Yibing sees Shi Rui in Yunwu's hand, and his face is a bit gloomy. Master, help me. Shi Rui looks at Mo Yibing and shouts. If Yunwu observes carefully, he will find that Shi Rui's eyes on Mo Yibing are just like those soldiers' eyes on himself, with incomparable respect. The cloud dance didn't stop, and let Shi Rui yell there. But Mo Yibing's eyes swept Shi Rui, and there was no wave in his eyes. Only when he looked at Yunwu did he squeeze out a sneer, do you want to threaten me with him? I believe that you will never care about such a subordinate. Who told you to be so superior? Yes, Sir Cloud Dance voice slightly young, said impolitely. It seems that you still have a good sense of self-knowledge. Just obey me and enter the beast gate. Otherwise, the Dragon Su Kingdom will no longer be a dragon. Cloud Dance Mao bottom a Leng Li, the corner of the mouth edge but Leng Yang rises, you this calculate is threatening me? Ha ha. Mo Yibing chuckles, what do you think? Yunwu's eyes narrowed slightly, and his hands around Shi Rui's neck tightened up. Ah! Lord Master, help me I. Shi Rui screamed, but his voice became hoarse because he was pinched. What really frightened him was the cold resistance in the position behind him. With one push, the ice sword could go through his body and pierce his heart. Mo Yibing frowned slightly, but her mood didn't fluctuate too much. Her eyes were still on Yunwu, and she said, I'll give you another chance. Cloud Dance sees that he doesn't take Shi Rui's life seriously at all, so he makes a decision and sends the sword directly, penetrating Shi Rui's body in an instant. Poof! Shi Rui's eyes were wide, and the color of terror in his eyes was still on his face. Shi Rui didn't expect to die. In front of Mo Yibing, he died in Yunwu's hands. Yunwu calmly takes back his hand, and Shi Rui's body has fallen to the ground. And the sword, in the air into a drop of water, evaporated in the air. This is my choice. Cloud Dance raises eyes to look at that Mo Yi ice coldly. See, the facial expression of Mo Yibing, gloomy enough frighten a person. Good. Good, let's talk about it. Next second. Ink Night Ice hand a brush, a mass of black as if the essence of the fog instantaneous condensation, toward the sky. There was a loud bang. There was a flash of fireworks in the sky. And at the same time, around those who had been slowly into the beast door troops, almost see the signal that moment. All of a sudden, it was magnificent and powerful. It almost covered half of the sky and came to the imperial city. On the tower of the imperial city. When the ministers saw this scene, they were so scared that their faces changed, and they immediately called for the bodyguard. Long Yaozi looked at it, but he was dressed from the beginning to the end. However, when seeing the Cloud Dance's action, that pair of deep eyes seemed to twinkle with smile. With her to help him, he seems to have nothing to worry about. Emperor, what can we do? Those rebels are going to attack the city. Can we bear it? Yes, Emperor, the tiger army of Longshu country, send it out quickly. Emperor, this is about to attack. Looking down, the mighty beast gate troops and the ministers standing on the top of the city could not help but feel the color of fear. The military officer was almost cleaned up that day by Yunwu and Longqing. Now most of the rest are civil servants. At the sight of the scene, his feet trembled. Wait, don't be brave. Long Qingxie came close to Yunwu. It seemed that he was not nervous about the approaching forces of Wanwoman. Cloud Dance sees this, but glanced at him one eye. This sentence, should be I say to you. However, Mo Yibing doesn't seem to be ready to let them have time to flirt. In the dark night, the ice flies up, and the black fog surges under the feet, which becomes more and more intense. Between the surges, black figures appear in the black fog. Cloud Dance with Dragon Qing evil eyebrows suddenly a wrinkle, eyes slightly open big looking at the black fog. The dark fog gradually dispersed, slowly revealed the true face. I can see that there are dozens of figures of half-human beasts. However, they are different from those people in the Beast Gate. These figures, with empty eyes, are obviously controlled puppets. One by one, the body is filled with a layer of rich if the essence of the black fog. What's more strange is that the strength of these puppets has reached the peak stage of wusheng. What is the concept of dozens of wusheng peak? In any case, Yunwu can't believe that this card of Moibing is actually the puppet of dozens of wusheng. It's not as easy to deal with as a living person. It's endless. The cloud dances and frowns. However, with a single order, all of them were called out. Be careful of each other. I'll cripple them all. Don't worry, yes, as soon as the little guys came out, their eyes lit up. They were excited for a long time and rushed directly to the puppets. One side of the Dragon Qing evil see this, eyes flashing over a touch of undercurrent, mouth outline. Then have fun. Long Qingxie said, and a fierce smile appeared on his handsome face. However, he turned to Yunwu and said, I'll deal with him. With that, no matter whether Yunwu agreed or not, with a wave of the long sword in his hand, the breath changed strangely, and he flew away to Moibing. 4 of them, dozens of puppets on the enemy, fought together. The number of them was less and the enemy was more, which further reflected their combat effectiveness. However, Cloud Dance still uses the power of elements to gather Fire Dragon, Ice Python and Wind Carving, and on the tower, the ministers, who were scared to tremble, saw this scene. He was shocked to the point of losing his chin. Is that the ability of the summoner? In addition to the contract beast, can elements condense? The speed of Dragon's exorcism reaches the extreme. The man with the long sword arrives before he reaches the sword, and he dives his hand to stab the ice in the dark night, with a strange and powerful momentum. Ink Night Ice quickly a flash, in the end is the flash of some slow. While the robe was cut directly by the sword, which nearly hurt the body. When you turn around again. I saw that Long Qingxie had reached the position he had just stood, and the sword was firmly held in his hand again. Eye contact to Dragon Qing evil, with his body breath at this time, Ink Night Ice eyes suddenly squint. You wake up. Awakening? Dragon Qing evil mouth outlines, this problem, the dead seem to need not know. That said, the fierce attack followed. Mo Yibing has no time to say the next words, so he is interrupted by the attack. The power released by his one move is obviously different from that just now, which makes him unprepared to deal with it. In fact, what he can understand about this dragon's evil spirit is very little. Hidden for more than 10 years, so that he never found out, it can be seen that the dragon is deep. Yunwu looks at Long Qingxie fighting with Mo Yibing. At this moment, several puppets suddenly appear in front of her. The black sticky smell turns into arrow feathers and goes straight to her face. When the hand of Cloud Dance turns, the ancient martial arts sword is released, while the rich earth elements gush out, forming a translucent shield in front of it, and the sword follows closely. The black arrow feather just shot at the shield in the twinkling of an eye. It was intensely corrosive and wanted to corrode the shield constantly. But they and Cloud Dance strength difference is too big, corrosion speed is too slow. Instead, the sword struck them. No blood. The wound split, only to see the texture of the meat, people feel a little nauseous. Yunwu's face sank. Be careful, those puppets are lifeless. The sound of dragon pouring evil came from the sky. Lifeless? Yunwoo was surprised and looked at the puppet he had just cut off. The puppet just fell to the ground, stood up from the ground. Shit! Is that okay? Puppet attack, black arrow attack again. I can't bear to think about it. I'll do the same again and melt the arrow feather. Yunwoo saw that all the 5 puppets came in their own direction, still empty eyes. But the difference is that at this time, they not only have no expression, but also have some rigid movements. They are generally manipulated by people and attack mechanically. Lan Yu, be careful. Cloud danced tiny side head, to the other side of the small stinky blue Yu they command to say. Well. Lan Yu nodded. Xiaoqiu and Hongling Baishuir are naturally more vigilant. Hongling has a good appetite for living people, but she has no appetite for this kind of dead puppet. Cloud dance should be more rich soil elements gush out, suddenly toward those puppets' attack in the past. After the puppets were killed once, their movements seemed to be slow and they didn't have time to react. Cloud dance has been close to a puppet, without hesitation of a twist each other's neck. After that, the shadow passed by. Kaka, kaka. The necks of the puppets were all broken. After Cloud dance did not leave, but quietly stood aside, waiting for the next thing. I saw the thick black fog emerge, covering the fallen bodies. But in an instant, the body just came down, stood up again. You're tuning into the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.